3, 2, 1.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and let's get ready for EJ Boxing Live.
To this date. To this day. To this day. To this day.
Take a mic, you know the word.
Date. To this day, what's going on, people? EJ Boxer Live here with another one. We got the spiritual boxer coming on in a bit. Ashley Crawford coming on, and so yeah, stay tuned for that. So in a minute, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get set up, get Crawford Ashley, it's Crawford Ashley coming on. Yeah, so I'm just gonna send him the link right now, get things sorted out, and I'll get back with you in a bit. In the meantime, I'm gonna play some music in the background, and so you guys can just chill and lay back and listen to some tunes, man, some vibrations, man. All right, nice one.
Brace yourself and come in, cover. Anytime I step in the place on ya, people are rock and come in, no cause. Original chronics to say, I grew up in a place called La Vega, Spanish Town Docking, over prison, over. Yeah. Well, I grew up in a place called Unsung City. Just me, Spanish Town groovy. Yeah, you say everybody nice. Chihuahua la la la, El Jaman. Spanish Town, me born, that's where me come from. From you looking at me face, you see a de la vegan. Well, I say Shani B and the one named Mr. John. Because of them we link up when we touch in a London. And we ready to come nice up BBC station East.
We like the customization from the sound. So we play it again.
Customize and rocking. When we say everything locking. Ready for rise up the machine. Me show them on me rock and come in. And me say I grew up in a place called La Vega. We rock and customize it. In a BBC session, an extra live. And I say I grew up in a place called some city. Yeah, Spanish Town groovy. When we play, everybody nice. Chihuahua la la, El Jaman. Spanish Town, me born, that's where me come from. From you looking at me face, you see a de la vegan. Well, I say come Max Glazer Anti-Federation. Me say big up on the Valentine, you like England. Strictly roots and culture play per nice station. You happy and you love it, beg you push up your hand. For Shani B and Mr. Jamas Paint Town original. Me neighbors drink out of a Spanish Town hospital. From the Shani B sound boy, this a funeral. And them fi know say we running like the mineral. Now for them I talk, them cannot talk to the general. Because we stepping at the place like a field marshal. Rock and bring your girl Spain Town up. Welcome. Why? Left, alright, yeah, so does I go, left, alright, yeah, ooh, yeah, what them say?
Here comes the trouble, here comes the danger.
Step in the place like walk a Texas Ranger. People are ball cause them looking at a stranger. Them love me behavior. Them girlfriend a rock and come in like them sight the savior. Step in the place and ace. And then we rock it and and then we jam it and we come now. I said the people them a ball, said them tell them mediocre. People and go fall when Shani B they step round ya. Leaving from down cause them like no easy boat ya. Even Bantan say it's not an easy. I said the people them a ball, said them tell them mediocre. People and go fall when Shani B they step.
Oh, see, I even know I was getting echo. What's going on here?
Road up a break, John occupy the motherland, calling our soldiers to carry each other along from creation. He writing another plan, Chronics can't do it alone. So I recruiting soldiers coming from the air and far right choose, executing. Still I see I works and I be lost up far right. Oh well, and here comes struggle, here comes the danger. Sent by the Savior, welcome to Rasta, We no imposter. Step in the place and Selassie is a master. And we not care where you come from Africa. Then you are African. Black master. Muffin and chronics in the area. So beg your rock and come in, make we set it on fire. I make we place it on fire. Hey, Rastafari, higher. Chant our psalms and say a prayer. Rastafari is the ruler, earth rightful ruler. It is Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I the first. Empress Menen, I should say. Empress Menen, she are the queen. Any other queen and a queen, them a muffin to next and we rock and come in. Yellow Selassie when him hey, I never know Haile Selassie was the biggest machine. Now for them attack, what they mean? I'm gonna walk in my booty lean. This King Selassie I the jack on a lean. If you think I like one, go ask Pauline. What day she see how me deal with the one where I run up a mouth in the skin. Deal with them real madam me. Spanish town rock and come in a De La Vega scheme. Hot ready for rise them again. Say Barack and come in. Oh yeah.
Maverick Saber coming in. They don't want to be a soldier, but I had to change. They don't want to be a fighter.
Frustrating.
There's no other way. None of this confusion and destruction done. Don't name my name. Little child, don't cry, cause we're struggling for when you come of age now. No, I'm a no one sees my face. On the fictions while we're choking. Feeling it's just all you need. All of the kings we've seen are long gone. True when they say the good die young. Where are all the warriors that born strong? They're just blowing into the wind. Every time I rise again, all I seem to be is weaker. And every time my life goes down, I'm falling deeper and deeper and deeper. Every time I rise within, all I seem to be is weaker. And every time my life goes down, I'm falling deeper and deeper and deeper.
Say, Mama, don't you cry for me. I'll be gone for a while. And I know this ain't the vision that you had for your child. Think about the children depending on me. They need someone to fight. So many soldiers should be fighting, but they are lost in the night. Just a soul and a dream gone on the battlefield. Mama start worry and fret. Oh, our son I go do it just a sword and a shield. Figure step in a baby wrong face. I had so much hate for my enemy. My enemy is the man that I've never seen. But this hatred that I'm carrying, taking so much of my energy. I said, why?
Every time I rise today, all I seem to be is weaker. And every time I rise, I'm falling deeper and deeper and deeper. Every time I rise today, all I seem to be is weaker. And every time my life goes, I'm falling deeper and deeper and deeper.
Ashley used to be the British light heavyweight champion, born in Leeds. He says he fights for pleasure.
Our strength is deep inside within.
All right, so we're having some technical problem with Crawford actually trying to come over. So I'm gonna ring him now. And yeah, we're gonna get into it, man. We get into the show, boy. We get into the show. ring him now. So I'll just share the screen on that one. I'll do it that way. So struggling. There we go. No answer. Okay. Let me try again. I don't know. Maybe it's here already. No, let me see. No, it's not here in a minute. All right, check some highlights. Check some highlights of Crawford Ashley.
Ashley used to be the British light heavyweight champion, born in Leeds. He says he fights for pleasure and self-satisfaction, not for the money. Michael Nunn was accepted as the best middleweight in the world in the late 80s. Now he's moved up to the 12-stone class.
Championship fight. Tony's a great fighter anyway. Not too much of a reception for Ashley, but I mean, he would have...
Yeah, it didn't really please me, Reg. I don't like to see a former light heavyweight coming in almost as a middleweight. I don't know if nerves has got something to do with that. Maybe he's burned up a little bit. I don't like his weight. I'd like to see him closer to the 12 stone. But I always had a lot of respect for Ashley as a fighter. But this is an immense step up in class.
None, by the way, just half a pound inside the 12-stone limit. He had a very easy win last time up, and I suppose he's looking for another first rounder here, Michael Nunn. But that was a disgraceful mismatch. Dan Moore.
All right, we're still waiting for him to come. Oh, there we go. He's calling me back. There we go. Accept. There we go. Should be coming in a sec, and I'm gonna get him on screen in a sec. There we go. It's just loading up right now. So we get the man, the legend, the spiritual boxer coming through. And through. Oh, something happened. What happened there? Got technical problems. Try again. Try again. You know, you always have to get the technical problems and that. So I've done the build up. We got the music and everything like that. So just waiting. And these things do happen in Crawford Ashley. Hello? Hello? My mic's working. Everything's working. Hello? On your end, I can't really hear anything. What's going on? Oh, there's something going on. Weapon there scheduled. Okay, the call again. Let me try again. Technical problem. These are the things you deal with, eh? What can you say? So tell me drop his number and I call him through Skype. I've got Skype. I don't even know I've got Skype credit. It wasn't foreseeing these problems here, man. Hello? Hey, there you go. You in? How you doing? Yeah, that's it. Oh, cool. All right, let me just. Okay, I can share the screen. Let me share the screen. If you see on your thing, on your end, yeah, you've got a button for your camera. Actually, if you don't have to be on camera anyway, that's fine anyway. I can conduct the interview from here. So we have here the spiritual. Pardon? Hold on, let me see. Okay, let me check 1 sec. Would you like to do a video chat? Oh, I know what it is. No, that's cool. Don't worry about it, because you know what it is. If we do, I'll come on camera as well. I don't want to. That's okay. That's all right. Yeah. All right. So, well, actually, no. If you press that, okay, it's better. Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. All right. So anyway, we are here finally. We have the spiritual boxer, Crawford Ashley. How you doing, How you doing, Mr. How you doing, sir?
Doing very well, thank you. Very well.
Boy, hey, I'm all right. I'm all right. You know, listen, I've been watching your content, and I'm thoroughly enjoying your videos and your perspective on life, boxing, after boxing, and current fights, and what you're trying to do over there. You know, giving back the energy to young fighters. How I found you is through Porky's Corner, and he was talking about obviously your fights and stuff like that. And I started researching your history, and I'm looking through your history, and I think to myself, oh my days, it's like a lost gem in the sport to me, especially in my generation, that I never even heard about you because whichever for whatever reason. But I feel like especially for my audience, I got I do this play. I got this boxing kind of list I do, unsung boxing heroes and boxing that most people forget about. So I thought to myself, I need to talk to the legend, my man, while you're here and get your perspective on things.
Well, to me, it was like I never courted the press. I wasn't interested in that.
Yeah.
I was just wanting to fight the best. I just wanted to fight. I wanted to see how good I was. I didn't care about publicity. It never interested me.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to go in and perform and show people who I was really. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's probably why you know certain you just do your job and that. But you know the thing is, yeah, a lot of boxing guys, it's like for the next generation coming up, they aspire to be like you or aspire to be, or maybe you didn't see yourself as a role model that way, maybe.
No, I just want people to be themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We all want somebody to be somewhere, but why? Why can't you just be yourself? It's okay to be yourself.
Yeah.
And for me, it was. I like fighting. I just had this thing, but I also like the discipline of boxing. You know, gentlemen, if a man goes down, you give him 10 seconds to get back to his feet.
Mm.
You know, I mean, you don't hit him when he's defenseless because it's not about that. It's about, to me, it's about winning. It's about self-defense. And when I look at fights going on now, where's the respect gone? You know what I mean? It seems like all the respect has disappeared out of it.
Yeah. I think. Why do you think that is?
I think just because I don't think it's taught as a self-defense. I think it's changed from being a beautiful sport, a boxing art form, to a sluggish, aggressive, sport. Aggression wins, and then it was like this attitude that Mike Tyson brought along. This mean stuff. And it sold tickets and then people jumped onto the bandwagon. But that was his persona. It's like somebody asked me a question about ego. And I just think it's just certain personalities that you want to portray because you want to attract a certain audience. But then you get carried away with that personality and you lose who you are. You actually lose yourself because you're lost in that personality.
Yeah.
Where, to me, since people want to find out who they are, and the wins over at the, what you call, the treadmill all the time. It's like, you look at AJ, he picked himself up after the loss, got himself involved in his, what do you call it, in his work, and come back better and stronger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't care what the people think. Why are you doing it? That's the first thing I ask people. Why do you want to box? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to get out of it? And it's fascinating with some of the answers, and every one of them is valid. You know what I mean? Every one of their answers are valid. And I'll teach anybody to want to box. You know what I mean? I won't teach you how to fight. Oh, when you teach me how to fight, no, that's not me. You know what I mean? If you want to learn to box, I'll teach you how to box. I don't have a problem with that. Because boxing's about control. Fighting's about losing control. You know? You got to stay in control in battle. And a lot of people lose control in that. To me, that's just what it's about.
Yeah, would you say that would you say that's a UK thing or American thing? Because or just a whole sport thing? Because in some other countries, I think maybe in Russia, I think they still revere the coaches in a certain way and a certain amount of respect. But would you say it's just here, or would you say that's in America as well?
No, what I think it was is like a mental game. You know, the bigger and badder man you can be, you're going to scare your opponent. And I just think it was all played out. You know, these press conferences, rumbles, to me, it's just all nonsense. It's nothing to do with boxing. It's psychological. It's pushing the fighter's buttons to keep him off. You know what I mean? It's just a part of the sport which I find fascinating. Yeah. How fighters fall for it. It's just nonsense.
Oh, they sell tickets. So let's talk about your background, right? Before we talk about it, so I looked on the box record and it said your nickname was Chiller. Chilling. So
Yeah,
it's a
just
Crawford chilling Ashley, right? And then so that you know,
chilling Crawford Ashley.
Chilling Crawford Ashley. And then obviously now you're the spiritual boxer. See, spiritual boxer, like I don't know, I'm not too sure. I'm just gonna go out a limb. Do you watch like martial arts or kung fu films and stuff like? Because there's actually a kung fu martial arts film by the Shaw brothers called The Spiritual Boxer. So how do you?
No.
Okay.
No, I used to watch Bruce Lee, and then it was Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Snake in the Monkey's Shadow and all that.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah.
What seemed to fascinate me is how all the masters were so calm and so relaxed.
Yeah.
And so chilled. And it's like, why do I need to worry? You know what I mean? Nothing's going to affect me now until you start doing something when you're in front of me.
Yes.
I'll share with that business because I know what I'm doing. And that's why press conference is fascinating, because what's going to happen now? Nothing. You're going to hit me. And then what's going to happen? None of us is going to get paid. But, you know what I mean? I can say, wait my time until the bell rings, and when the bell rings, it's not going to stay in it. It's just me and you. You know, so why waste the time talking? And for me, a fight doesn't need selling. If it's the right people boxing, you know what I mean? Do you think they needed to sell the only phrase line? 1 to war 3?
Nah, not really. It sells itself, isn't it? 2 undefeated fighters, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like this AJ Fury fight. It doesn't need selling, it's sold itself. And that's how you want. That's how I think boxing should be, where fights sell themselves. The best find the best.
Yes.
Places.
Yes. Yes. I agree with you in terms of the respect thing. And you're in terms of selling and stuff like that. They can conduct because they're supposed to be role models. But yeah, I think at some point, boxing is becoming a niche sport. And this is what I think why it's got to that point. And they feel that they need to ramp it up to be like almost like Coronation Street or EastEnders, just to get the views in and the numbers. When your day, when you was boxing, it was still quite high profile, you know?
No, what mattered was because it was on normal TV.
Yes, exactly.
It was a everyday staple. You know what I mean? There was many amateur clubs around. And now it's like boxing's, like you say, it's one of these niche sports and only come from these big fights.
Yes.
You got to put on the right kind of fight. It's kind of used to be shows at town halls, there was some monthly Leeds. And as kids, we used to go in, there was some right tear-ups in there. But if a fighter's boxing, box of somebody of his caliber, of his level. Because the worst thing in boxing is mismatches. You know, just to pad out somebody's record, that's wrong. And it's like, even back in my day, if you look at Naz's record, look at how many times Naz fought certain people. You know what I mean? He's had so many fights and he's unbeaten, but he's boxed this guy 4 times.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's bollocks.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, but exactly. We end of the day, like this, when that goes into your career, because I'm gonna bring up some of the names in your career, but you're 100% right. But I think where the sport is at the minute, AJ, if you look at AJ, I know you mentioned about the kind of like where disrespect, but how do you think Anthony Joshua conducts himself in terms of athlete? Is it someone as a role model? Because to be honest, he's brought a lot of people, casual people back to the sport, and the way he conducts himself, his logo is stay humble, less talk, more action. What's your take on the way Anthony Joshua's conducted himself?
Me, like I said, I've said it from the beginning. I like him. I like what he represents. You know what I mean? He's a stand-up guy. To me, he's one of them type of people. Well, I can have a laugh and a joke. No problem. But if you want to go the other way, let's go, because I don't have a problem with that. You know what I mean? There's some people. I like him. You know, and I don't understand why people don't like him. You know, I don't know, but that's just me. Yeah, but
it was the same thing. They grew up in a culture about, like you said. I know you mentioned Mike Tyson. Ramping it up. But Ali, to be fair, Ali in his day, and I think Rocky Marciano in their day, they never really liked the way Ali used to conduct himself either. But Ali knew people didn't like him. You know, obviously the mainstream, and I think he was he was using what Mayweather does, using people's ignorance to sell. And I think people are using that blueprint all the way through that whole thing of like that. But Ali was doing it because if he wasn't like that, then people wouldn't come see the tickets. But obviously later on, people realized Ali, becomes a lovable person and a person that people liked. Go ahead.
No, I've never seen it like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is my hero, man. You know what I mean? I've never seen it like that.
Yeah.
I've seen Ali as one of these type of people. He knew what he had to do, to get known. He had to run his mouth off because they weren't going to let him, become the champion because he's too strong-headed. Mm-hmm. And he went exactly the way he went. Because my dad said to me back in the day, they said, they're not going to kill him, but they're going to poison him. take his voice away from him. What did he get? Parkinson's.
Yeah, that was
because he was such a great man and he brought the world together, basically. And the people in authority didn't want that shit.
Yeah.
But if they killed him, they made a martyr out of him.
Wow.
But they wanted the people to feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
But what he kind of like did, he showed it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to stand up for what you believe in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's okay.
Yeah.
And to me, that's what you got to do. You got to stand up for what you believe in.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead. No, you're right. No, you're 100% right about that. I try because obviously when I'm interviewing, I try not to interrupt because obviously we're here to hear you and your story. But you're right. You got to stand and believe him. So let's bring it back. So who when you first youngster, what was your story for you to enter the boxing? Because I've seen on your Facebook and I'm looking through your pictures. If you don't mind, I've shared a couple of your pictures. I've got your ABA picture and I've got your picture with Tommy Hearns and the one with Camacho. The one with Camacho, because people haven't seen it. Emmanuel Stewart, Tommy Hearns, and Camacho, who passed away. Camacho, head to Camacho. So let's talk about what got you into the boxing gym.
Well, when I first started off, I was 7.
Yeah.
And I had to go to the gym. There was no talk, no discussion. I had to go. My dad wanted his boxing. My brother's 4 years older than me. He won the ABAs in 82 then. And we went to Burton's. And at the time, I don't know what the trainers seen in there. Because I was just a wild kid. And they let me come down, me and a kid called Barry, who was 8. And we're just down there training. And it was like 2 of the main characters was a guy called Tommy Bergen and Dave Buck. And Tommy Bergen taught all the boxing, the nice boxing, the dancing, the footwork, the balance and that. And Dave Buck taught us all the dirty stuff, all the impact, all the order, all the on the wrong side of the referee and everything. And that was before I even had my first fight. I knew how to do all that. Mm-hmm. And they used to give us mantras. When in doubt, stick your left hand out. And certain things work. Mm. Don't worry about your opponent, let your opponent worry about you. Mm-hmm. You just get on with your work. And all that worked for me as a kid growing up, listening to what was said. And we also had to sit down and watch the sparring. And we had to listen to what Tommy was saying, and we had to repeat back to Tommy and Dave Buck what we were seeing. I mean, if you was in there, what would you do? And all that to me was all lessons. And then having a spar with my brother, which was a bloody nightmare.
Yeah, your brother fight. You got a brother fight as well?
Yeah, he won the ABAs in 82.
Wow. He was younger than you, yeah?
No, he was 4 years older than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
You won yours in 79, right?
I won 79, 80, 88, and 8. I won 2 junior ABAs and 2 schoolboys.
Okay. So your brother. So what? So you and your brother. What? How come your brother didn't go as far as you in terms of where you got to?
Because they could see the bullshit in the pro game.
Yeah?
Yeah, he could see the bullshit in the pro game. And he wasn't interested.
So he was a very good amateur. He's very accomplished amateur, and that was happy. He was happy with that.
He represented England a few times.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, when you're sparring with your brother who's 4 years older than you,
yeah,
and he's just playing with you, and you wanna batter him, man. But as an older brother, we ain't gonna let that happen. Yeah, I took some right beatings from him.
Yeah? Ooh, really? Go on.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, the thing is it did me in good stead for coming along.
Yeah.
It's like when people say, why did I fight Nunn? Why not? I had to spar with Glenn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would help out. So how come you didn't go to the Olympics then, or anything like that? The World Games? Did you get that? And maybe you did. You get onto the on the Commonwealth and the world scene? Did you get on that side through the amateurs?
No, I walked out of the amateurs.
Go on, tell us why.
Why?
Yeah.
I'm going to put it down to favoritism. I wasn't very liked. I was sparring with a kid who I beat twice, and he was fighting against Norway or Denmark. I can't remember which one. So I asked Nikki. I said, why is he fighting against Norway? He said, he's got more experience than you. I said, oh, what? I'll get knocked out. And then these words came out of his mouth. You do as you're told.
Oh.
Oh, my head. I hear voices in my head. Well, I'm glad my mouth stayed shut this time.
Mm.
And the voice says, wait a minute, I beat everybody you put in front of me and I got to kiss your ass. Fuck yourself, I'm going home.
Mm.
Next day, there was a knock on the door, we're going in Crawford. I said, no, we're not. I'm going home, I'll catch you there. And I just got on the train and left. No matter what I did, I'm going to get picked.
Wow.
You know, I ain't interested in. To me, I was the best the country had, and if you don't want the best to represent the country, you know what I mean? Fuck you.
Yeah. What weight class was that?
I think I was 71 kilos or 73 kilos. I can't remember.
73. Okay, 73. That means light. You're like what? You're light heavy. You're light heavy then? Was that?
Yeah. I was light heavy most of my career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what Olympics? So around that time, you would have probably got into the Los Angeles Olympics. Maybe was that 84? Maybe 84.
No, in 82.
Yeah.
Well, in our house we had to see who was going to go in the ABAs. We tossed the coin and Glenn won it, and he went in, and he won the ABAs. And in 82 they didn't take a light heavyweight to the Commonwealth Games.
Wow. Imagine.
Yeah.
That. That's deep. Wow, man. So they
can't. Do you know something? It goes way deeper than what people think, man.
Well, you know what? Listen, I'm all ears, you know. We're on lockdown, you know. I thought, listen, you're a man, yeah. To that, you know, you give me little snippets on your YouTube channel. By the way, people listening, make sure you subscribe to the Spiritual Boxer, Ashley Crawford Ashley on YouTube. But you listen, you got all time to give as much as we want, because I find it fascinating. Like the little clips you gave us out on YouTube, there's so much more that you can give. So yeah, you go ahead and express yourself. I'm listening. I'm all ears.
I'm like I said, I'm good. I remember being at a friend's house and he hated Kevin Nicky. And I didn't give a shit about him. You know what I mean? Because he said he ruined his career. And I just thought, nobody can ruin your career, only you. You know what I mean? He can't stop me from boxing. I'll box. You know, that's all I want to do. Love, if I don't box for my country, that's fine. But if you let me box for my country, I'm definitely going to win. You know what I mean? I'd have been so proud to represent my country, man. But they didn't want me. So what am I going to do? Cry? Scream? Nah. I'm just going to go about my business and enjoy my life. You know what I mean? I'm not even stressing out over it.
Yeah. But that's what we call chilling with Crawford Ashley, right?
Yeah. That's it. Just, what's the point?
100%.
Yeah.
You didn't vote. So see that opportunity when we know. So where did the spiritual side of you come in terms of Rasta? So Bob Marley was very current in the 70s, in the 80s. A lot of people spiritual, and you know what? That's nothing. Obviously, I don't know. Both your parents from the West Indies, from Jamaica, or they from?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Your dad's back over there.
Yeah.
And I'd have been there if you want for this nonsense, man.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean? That would have been nice. Hey, listen, my friend was over there. He went for the first lockdown. He's back now. He must be thinking, boy, I need to go back there, right? And just chill out, right? So your parents was Indian, so Bob Marley.
No,
go on.
No, my mum is, and my mum's a Yorkshire woman.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, she's from Loft House.
She's from Yeah. So do you remember how they? Was your dad do boxing as well? Your dad got into boxing and anything like that, or?
He had 3 fights and he lost them.
What, as a pro?
Yeah.
I bet they put him in hard, right? Did they put him in hard?
Well, yeah, but he also said his nerves, he couldn't handle it, down to his nerves.
Yeah.
And there's a lot like that. So he made most of his bits and bats was sparring.
Yeah.
Up here. So I think that's why he wanted us to box.
Yeah, that would be the case because I was looking at there's a guy called Don Davis. He was out South London, and I was looking at his pro record because you can draw up pro people's boxing records, pro records. And I looked at him, and in the first 3 fight, his very first fight, you fight 4 rounds, 4 3-minute rounds. They put him with a guy who had 6 fights already, and he fought him 4 times, but out one of the 4 times he fought him twice, lost, and he went right back in there. He knocked him out in the 3rd fight, and I said, "Oh my God!" Why would they put him in so deep? So I was thinking maybe with your dad, they probably put your dad deep in. I'm just, I'm thinking they just threw him in there, innit? I don't know.
Oh, definitely. You know what I mean? So he didn't know that, but where the fair used to come to town with the boxing booths, he used to go and get his pound. Stay in the ring for 3 minutes. You get your quid.
And that way, to make the money in that. All right. So let's talk about so your spiritual side. Bob Marley, how did that come into play? And when did you find that spiritual side of you?
Well, back in the day, I wasn't really a Bob Marley fan.
Okay.
It was a bit too commercial for me. You know what I mean? Every time we end up in a party, straight away the Bob Marley music comes on. You know what I mean? And it's like, wait a minute. I like all kinds of music. No, I was looking for something. There's always been something kind of like missing. You know what I mean? I've always felt like I've been attacked and I've been protected by someone. I don't know. And I went to the Catholic Church, the mosque, all sorts of different religions. Nothing made any sense to me. And then on my 18th birthday, I'm in Kingston, and my uncles, and we go for a walk. This was from my birthday, so it was one time around my 18th birthday. And I'm walking along Kingston, the streets down by the beach, and this old man comes over to me and goes, "Buy me a pineapple, my man." I said, "Yeah, Rasta, no problem." And my uncle went to running. I went, no, leave this man, leave him. I'm going to talk to him. So I buy him a pineapple, and me and him are eating the pineapple, having this chat. And the only thing I can remember him saying is, "There's many paths to an end." And that just made so much sense to me. Out of all the religions I've ever listened to, every one of them is talking about this is the only way. You can't go to heaven unless you go through Jesus Christ. And none of that made sense. And then I've got this Rasta man talking to me about there's many paths to an end. So I started looking a little bit more into it, into the Maroons in Jamaica, the first runaway slaves, and how they formed this community, how they helped other runaway slaves and they lived in freedom, and how they beat the British 3 times. And then there was a split in the Rasta community with, I think it's 12 tribes in Nyabingi. And one side beat with the English and the other wouldn't. So there's a part in Jamaica which is still under Maroon control. It don't belong to the Jamaican government or the British government. So I was looking into that. And then I became very, very depressed. And I went searching, I went traveling. And I found certain things, started meditating, and I found certain things out. And I realized that my boxing journey was a journey into me, finding out who I was. And then now what spirituality is about, finding out who you are. And what's Rasta about? What does Rasta teach? What is it? Always taught one love, peace, That's all it's ever taught. But yet they were condemned. You know what I mean? It was like the lowest of the low. But yet, the only thing that they preach is love. One love. Unity. And to me, that's what it's all about. I and I. You and me, we're one. You know what I mean? We come from the same, and we're going back to the same. You know what I mean? Branches of the same tree. And then the more I've looked into it, because I like the Tao Te Ching, the way that is the way is not the way. This is your path up the mountain. You know what I mean? You've got to find your own path. Sometimes you're going to walk in with some people. Some people are going to try and pull you off your path, but you're going to go back on your path. But you're the one who's got to walk it. Nobody else can walk it for you. We have had a little rant there.
No. That's fine. No. Listen, I ain't got no mind for that, man. I don't mind it. You know, it's always good. You know, see, remember again, boxers are being always put in a certain light that, you know, they're dumb and they're not well spoken. But obviously, you've had some really, really hard fights. And for the people, I'm gonna let you know, some of you look your box record, and obviously going learning about Rasta and learning about yourself and stuff like that. It's very interesting in terms of your mentality of what when you went into the ring, of how you were and what was going through your mind, you know, because like you said, they took you as chilling, but you was more connected spiritually with yourself, and it was more about yourself learning to fighting against the best. So no, I really enjoyed that you expressing that. So let's talk about then we could, because I mean you've been a bit, you've been against some real tough, stiff opposition. We're gonna go right back into your career. I got the box rec in front of me, right? So see, we've alluded that they didn't want you to represent the country for whatever reason, because another guy actually was what's his name again? Kirkland Land. He has Vernon Solis or something like that, and he was the ABA champion at 17, and he thought he wanted to go to Olympics, and they put someone else in front of him as well. So he experienced that, you know. Which is I don't really like to say, or you know, it's racism. Would you say around that time you said there's a bit of prejudice as well, you know? Would you say? I don't know.
A lot.
Not a bit, a lot, right?
A lot. What I like to do is I like to change it into favoritism.
Yes. Favoritism. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because you got to remember around the time Errol Christie was the golden boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So how can you say it's racism? Yeah. Even though you know it is, even though it's done blatantly, you can't, because they've got the golden boy. You see what I'm saying? You see how they're clever now to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very clever now to do it. But people don't see that. So I just call it favoritism.
Favoritism, yeah. Well, that's another way of putting it. That's another way of putting it. We got any comments from people? All right, we got comments. Got a few comments. Okay. Big up Crawford. Big up Crawford was my favorite of mine back in the days. Yeah, had fights. He fight anywhere. Always entertaining fighter. He knew his tricks of the trade. 100%, man. Thank you, Kevin. What else you got here? And on air, was it Grace for Crawford? Yeah, okay. I'm not sure about that. Oh, good chat too. Yeah, see, people are enjoying the chat. You see, this is what I'm saying. Like your words of wisdom is well. I appreciate you guys. The comments. Keep your comments coming, by the way. Your words of wisdom is well appreciated in this time, especially with dealing with this covert time. And your words of wisdom as a boxer, which I enjoy, and the spiritual side of you, now is well welcome. Trust me. So let's go into the boxing career, right? So your first loss, right? Now you fought a guy. He was 3-3. No, you was 3-3. He's 3-3, right? Yeah. You're right. Yeah, he's 3-3. He got 3 wins and 3 draws, and you're 2-2. Yeah, you're coming into that. Glazer, did you win that fight, or they done you on points? Did they robbed you? Because I want to know.
Well,
go on.
The story about that, right, is I was in Bradford. A friend of mine was boxing, and I was introduced to the referee, and he told me to cut my hair, and I told him to fuck off. In them words exactly.
The referee told you to cut your hair?
Yeah. I wasn't even at the fight, I was at the show. I was introduced at boxer light everywhere, and he just says, cut your hair. I went, fuck off.
Yeah.
He went, you'll never get into a ring. I'm refereeing. I says, you don't even know what my hair's going to be like.
Yeah.
So you don't say that. And when I got in the ring, my hair was all plaited up.
Yeah.
And I've got it on videos in Jamaica, actually. And it's my first 8 rounder. And I thought I won it. And he raised glass candles down and he came over to me and said, I've won that. I went, fuck off, cunt, and got out of the ring. But for me, I wasn't bothered because I was always taught as a kid, you know what I mean? It's only 3 people's opinion. You've got a certain amount of time to get it out of their hands. And if you don't, you can't complain. Yeah. And if you look at my record, every win I had in points, I lost.
I was starting to get the rule in England as well. I've seen it. I was thinking to myself that, you know, I've seen this before because Dick Tiger, one of the greatest fighters, Dick Tiger, he had early fights in England and he lost a lot, and then he became a Hall of Famer in America. You know, I think it was middleweight and light heavyweight champion. And I was like, hold on a minute, in England he wasn't getting losses, but in America this guy became a Hall of Famer. And I was like, ooh. Okay, then. So I was like, that's what I thought. Let me ask you that, because I'm thinking it's by Terry O'Connor. He had it we had it by 1 round because I've got it in front of me, looking at it right now. He scored. It was in, it was Crescent Hotel in was it
Bloomsbury Crest?
Yeah, Bloomsbury Crest. Yeah, he had it by one. He had it by 1 point. So his record, it's because he didn't like it. That's why they scored against. Is that what it was?
I got. Listen, mate. There's only him who knows. I don't know. I don't even try to figure these people out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't get it. You know what I mean? It's like, what's the problem?
Yeah.
Because you know when you've lost the fight.
Yeah.
You know when you haven't done enough. You know what I mean? You know when the guy's just better than you.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about these. I'm gonna from here on now. I'm gonna do some the name fighters because the people, everyone. Johnny the Entertainer Nelson. Now he wasn't Johnny. Yeah, I mean he wasn't Johnny that time. He wasn't Johnny that time, and you fought him in Midland Sporting Club in Salford. Is it Salford?
Salford, Manchester.
Yeah. Right. The referee Jimmy Puddle, whatever. He got you 77.5, and he got him 79. Tell us about the fight with Johnny Nelson because it looked like you lost on points here. But tell us from your perspective what happened in the bout. And actually, in the fight, you're fighting at, I believe you're fighting at cruiserweight. You're fighting at 88. Is it 83?
Right. No, I get to this venue. I don't even know who I'm fighting.
All right, go on.
Right? So the man says to me, jump on the scale. So I start stripping off. He says, oh, no, don't worry about taking the clothes off. I said, jump on. So I jump on fully clothed. And I don't know what my weight was. And then Johnny Nelson comes in fully stripped off. And then his way, I mean, I'm just looking and my trainer goes, "Personally, fine, no problem." But it was down to my trainer and Johnny's trainer. They didn't like each other. You know what I mean? And he wanted me to go in there with him. I think I was giving Johnny about a stone, maybe a bit less than that. And, oh, man, he's awkward. And I think he was in about round 7. He would go, round 7, I think it was, or round 8. He would go, no, you're fucked now. You're fucked now. I said, I'm fucked now, and I'll show you who's walked straight on to him, man. Yeah. He broke my nose and put me on the arm, and I thought, you bitch. I got up, and then, you know, he went to the points, but yeah, he deserved it because he got me out of my trap, but taught me a lesson.
Yeah.
You don't let people pull you into that nonsense. You just concentrate on doing what you're doing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So no, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, because Johnny Nelson, he did that to Carl Thomas, who later on we're gonna talk about Carl Thompson and we're gonna do that. But he's very good. That's what he learned about getting into people's heads. So go on, you saying you learned, you were saying you learned something on that, go on.
No, I learned, but I'd like to rematch with him. You know what I mean? But we wouldn't have got one.
So that's your first experience in the pro game of playing mind games and getting into people's heads. It's pretty good though, because you're learning it like pretty early on, you know. Every experience.
But you have to be quick in this game. It's like when I turned pro, I gave myself 3 years to learn the game. I didn't care about wins or losses. I give myself 3 years to learn the game. Because it's a completely different game to the amateurs. You know?
So let's talk about your third loss against this Brian Longdon.
Brian Longdon.
Yeah, Longdon.
Oh man,
what happened in that? Both of you went down in the fight. It said both of you went down in the first round, innit? Apparently.
Yo-yos. No, what happened is I think the fight before that I smashed up both my hands.
Doing what? Doing what?
Doing what?
Yeah.
Punching the guy.
Oh, in the fight, you smashed up both in the fight. You actually smashed. Yeah. Okay, go on.
Both my hands was nuts because they rushed us in and they didn't put the bandages on properly.
Oh, is it? Oh.
And what happened is the tendons that run down my fingers, they washed. Every time I bent my hand, it was in. So now I'm being on the bags, I'm even being sparring. But what I heard later on is Nigel Benn wanted me on his undercards because he liked me. So my trainer put me on, Blaine Lonsden. And I hit him and I hit him and I put him down and I thought, just get him out of there quick, man, just get him out of there. And I rushed in and walked on and then I got put down. So I thought, this man. So I got back to the corner, shook up, and again I put him down and I walked on to another one, didn't learn from the first one. And I says, I could have continued, the referee shouldn't have stopped him. My brother said he should have. So, you know what I mean? Another one, learn a lesson.
Yeah.
I mean, forget the ego. Clear your head. You know what I mean? And get out of there. Don't let it take over to try and finish somebody off. You know what I mean? Pick it when you've got somebody here, be very careful because they're dangerous. You know what I mean? Look at Ben. When he was his worst was when he was hurt.
Yeah.
So
that's a lesson. That's a lesson learned. So let's move on. Yeah, that's a lesson learned. So let's move on to the Carter Cat Thomas. So everyone knows who beat David Hay, right? And also he lost to Johnny Nelson. But and this to me is like you're fighting like the pre-comer. These Johnny Nelson and definitely with Carl Thomas. These guys are cruiserweights, right? Which you later on did fight in that weight division, but I'm not sure. I'm not too sure, but we'll go into it anyway. But you fought Carl the Cat Thompson, and he coming into the fight. He was 8-0. You got referee Mickey Van, who I don't know. I think you two become good friends with Mickey Van. Van?
I'm not friends with any of the officials. I talk to them. You know what I mean? It's one of them things. I'm polite to everybody. I respect everybody.
Okay.
We're not friends. We don't go out for a drink. You know what I mean? It's one of them.
Because Mickey Van, he was the judge for the Julio Cesar Chavez and the Parnell Whitaker, and he scored it for Chavez, I believe, in that fight. And another judge, I think another English judge had it a draw, and at that point it was a split decision draw. So Chavez kept his belt. But Mickey Van, he was always, I think him and Darky Smith got into it when Ricky Hatton fight, and star referee Nicky Van, so he was always around the circuit, and that just pointed it out. So you're fighting for the vacant British, Central Area light heavyweight.
Central Area title.
Central title against Carl Thomas. So he's 8-0. Tell us about the fight, and you're fighting at light. So tell us about the fight at light heavyweight against another guy, Carl Thomas.
Now I just remember in the first round, he hit me and put me down and I'm in the corner.
Wow.
And the voice in my head said, it's going to get harder than this, but you're going to win. And I pulled myself up. And I was just boxing. And I remember I put him down with a jab. And it was because his feet was all wrong. You know what I mean? I caught him off balance. I did this. I didn't even realize I did it. Kind of like a sidestep, but came straight back on him. Caught him square on him with a jab, put him down. And then, I don't know if you've boxed, but sometimes there's like a flash. And you've been on the floor, you know what I mean? There's a flash and then you're back in the ring. With this flash, and then the bell rang, and I gone back to the corner and I was absolutely knackered. And I'm fucking hell, man, that's a long first round. And when you said you're coming out for the sixth, I went, am I winning? He went, no. So I went out there, and the next round I started boxing. And I think that's what broke his heart, because I threw a jab. I didn't even feel like it hit him, and he turned away like, you know, he's got it in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
So he says he was owned him, but I never did.
Yeah. But that's hey, listen. Have you got that fight? Because I tried to find it, and I really want to see that fight. Have you got it? Have you got it?
When I go to Jamaica,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll pick it up, get it, and I'll bring it back.
Oh, please, man, please. Have you got the Johnny Nelson one? Have you got the Johnny Nelson one as well?
No, I ain't got the Johnny Nelson one.
Oh, you need to put them on your channel, man.
What people don't realize, I wasn't even bothered. It's took me about, from when I retired, it's took me about 10 years to even get back into it, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're gonna talk about that as we finish. When we finish your career, because we wrap it up, we give you a whole time in that so you can air out on that. So that's a great win against Carter Cat Thomas, because he obviously later on he beat Eubank later on. It was the
next one was the better win.
Mm-hmm.
The next one was the better one, because I don't rate unbeaten fighters.
You don't
rate unbeaten fighters.
Why is that?
Because they never boxed me.
Yeah.
No, that was my how I was brought up. You know what I mean? Who can beat you when you're on form, not being big-headed? When everything's 100%, who can beat you on this planet? No one.
Yeah.
No one. That's the kind of confidence you should have.
Yeah.
It's not about being arrogant. It's about, why am I getting in a ring if I don't even think I can beat this man?
Yeah.
I'm the best player on this planet. You know what I mean? I'm not being arrogant. I'm willing to prove it.
Well, I mean, with this, as you can be by your career, by Johnny Nelson, Carl Thomas, and some of the things there, you weren't playing around, and you wanted to test your skills against the very best, whether that be whether light, heavy, super middle, and cruiser, wherever it was. It showed by your record. This is what, you know, when I looked at it, I said, oh, so your record has stacked up in terms of, I actually put a list of light heavyweights, right? So I've got John Conte, right? I got Dennis Andrews. I got yourself.
I fought him.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna get. I know that's another one. You got him, and you got Joe Kazaki, and who's the other one? I got Joe Kazaki, and I think I got Clinton Woods, right? And you know, people obviously don't know who you are. And that's like, that's why obviously I got interviewers. So I got the poll. I'll probably put it up in a bit. But obviously, your resume, and the guys you fought. I mean, listen, mate, it's nothing to sneeze at. This is, I mean, this is some hard fights. But anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about your next loss, a split decision loss. Actually had a point deducted from in the 6th round. I'm reading it right now. It's for the vacant.
Graciano Rocchigiani.
Yeah, see, I'm glad you said that, because I would have had struggle with his name. It's in Dusseldorf in Germany. So
Dusseldorf.
Yeah, Dusseldorf. Now, tell us about that fight there. Go on, tell us about that. It's in 1991. Go on, tell us about that one.
I took that 6 days notice.
Oh, he's 30-0, by the way, as well.
I know, like I said, you don't interest me. You haven't fought me.
Yeah.
No, I took that 6 days notice, and it was weird how it happened, actually. I got ripped off big time. Oh, man, Eastwood was a bad manager. You tell me, I don't know. So I'm going to the airport, and when I get to the airport, there's a message that they want me back at the office. So I go back to the office, and Eastwood says, I've got your European title fight. Yeah. It's in Germany. Yeah. It's in 6 days' time. Yeah, no problem. Oh, you're going to get $6 grand. And if you don't take it, you can't fight for the European title for a year. All right, then, no problem. Oh, I need to go back home. I've left my kit. I wasn't even bothered about going to the train. I need to come back home for the weekend and then go back in training. Oh, no, we need you in training now. All right, then. Start training. I've gone over to Germany. I got picked up at the airport by the promoter. And he says to me, thank you for coming. You've saved the show.
Oh, they're using your record to save the show. Is that what's going on?
No, that's what he said. He said it saved the show. It was 12,000 people.
Yeah.
Sell out.
Yeah.
On TV.
Yeah.
and they couldn't get an opponent. And if I never took the fight, they'd have had to cancel the show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because
Yeah.
it was 6 days. Look,
But
say Eastwood
got me $6,000.
Yeah, $6,000 should have got more than that, man.
Well, you know what I mean. So he says to me that the German crowd are knowledgeable. And if you put a good performance, I says, wait a minute. I said, I haven't come over here to perform. I've come over here to win.
That's what I'm thinking. He's got you over there just to prop up the show.
And he looked at me, and he never spoke to me after that. And the guy was just quiet because he wasn't no bravado on this. I just told him I've come here to win the fight. You know what I mean? This is an opportunity. This guy was a former world champion. You know what I mean? He was a super middleweight world champion. He's unbeaten. I'm fighting him at 6 days' notice. How good am I? I don't know. Let's find out. Well, that's all it was for me. Let's find out. I'm going to find out. And then when I'm in there, oh man, what people, I get off on negativity. I don't know why. But when I walked into there, Sparta, we kill you, Sparta, spitting at me. Oh man, the atmosphere, the hatred, man, was brilliant. It's hard to explain it, but the more I walked, I didn't have no bodyguards. You know, I mean, none of that nonsense. I'm walking to the ring by myself, and all I can think is this: in this bubble, I'm getting stronger and stronger and bigger and bigger, and they don't know you. You're fighting there, champ. Let's see what he's got. And I just felt brilliant. Actually, I got booed. But the only person I've got to worry about is the man in front of me. You know what I mean? When I get in through them ropes, I'm at home. I know what I'm doing in there. The crowd don't bother me. You know what I mean? And then we box, and I break my hand in the third round, break my left hand in the third round. And it's hurting, man. And I hit him, and it's hurting. And I'm moving it there, and my hands are throbbing, and this voice goes, well, it hurts when we're old, it hurts when we're in, so now they just keep hitting him with it. And they did, and right at the end of the fight, I walked over to him and I says, can I have a rematch? And he says to me, in plain English, I don't understand English. Fair enough. And then the decision was given. And it was the referee who put in a complaint, said it was the worst decision he'd seen, and he took a point off me.
Hold on. The referee said it was the referee. Yeah, the referee took a point of view. So the referee thought you won the fight. You did win the fight.
Yeah, France Marty. Yeah. He complained to the EBU and said it was the worst decision he'd seen. It wasn't Eastwood, and they wouldn't give us a rematch.
Wow. Imagine that, man. Imagine that, and that's in Germany as well. What were they racist to you, or there's this rude and this rude or what?
Guys, the thing is. The man makes money. You know what I mean? So to pad out the record, it's like I said to a lot of people, he got the decision, he didn't win the fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got the decision, so it's like he's unbeaten, but is he unbeaten? He just got the decision. You know?
Yeah.
People who were there knew, because the same people on the way out was hugging me, kissing me. This guy was waiting for me for a while, man, and he come over to me after people had stopped, you know, telling me how much they felt sorry for me.
Yeah.
Give me, I think it was 1,000 Deutschmarks.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was a tenner. You know what I mean? I ain't got a clue. You know what I mean? And they were crying. I came back over to England, man. When I changed up, I got 375 quid. I went straight next door and bought a gold chain by his hand time, just to remind me of that. You know what I mean? Well,
it's a good experience, though, isn't it?
Very. You know,
What'd you learn on that one?
What did I learn on that one?
Yeah.
People don't know who I am.
Yep.
People don't know who I am. The booing this person who's coming to put his soul on the line. You know what I mean? In the ring, the scene who I was. You know what I mean? The shirt. And it's one of them. People know when they're getting value for money. And it's a fight. You know what I mean? Do you want your man to go in and get blown away in the first round? No, you want to see a fight. You want to see your man being there with a fight.
Yeah. 100%.
And all you, the crowd, want to see is you give 100%. Now, when you give 100%, there's no such thing as a loser. Yeah.
That's a great mentality. Great mentality to have. A great mentality, because you can only build from that 100%. Well, you moved on after that against Roy Skeldon, and you get your British light heavyweight championship. That felt good. And you got a 7-round knockout. But the fight I'm going to talk about is that Yawe Davis in Italy. So you've gone from Germany, you go now you're in Italy for the vacant UAB. So you've got another shot at it, and it's a draw. It's a draw. So tell us about that fight. How's that? Did you beat? Because I've got it. They've called it. Yeah, they've called it. All the judges have called it a draw. Was it a draw, or what happened over there? Is he from Italy as well, by the way?
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that.
Why do I have to say? You know what I mean? It's like it's one of them. For me, I remember having a gym and the kid come in and they were on about boxing and he said something. And he just says that, and I said, "Oh, so you're calling it a robbery?" All boxers said they got robbed. I did it. All right then. And I just left it. And then he started boxing, and about a year and a half later, he come in and started telling me about this fight that I didn't get the decision. I said, "Yeah, all boxers say they got robbed." You know what I mean? And just left it. Because you know whether you win or not. And that Graciano Rocchigiani fight, the guy was coming on, he never liked me. And he was basically, "Oh yeah, I heard you got robbed. Everybody says they got robbed." I said, "Yeah, there's the video. I watched it." Came back in when you got robbed. Make up your own mind, because I don't care, because it's just an opinion.
Yeah.
Opinion.
I'll tell you what, yeah, if you when you go back to Jamaica, or you can have them, maybe not send them over, but I love to see some of these fights there. And you know what? And we revisit them, right? And with commentary on it, we can do commentary on it and watch it together. Because I tell you what, man, some of these stuff there is it's classic. All right. So I'm going to show a little highlight reel that I put together with you and Michael Nunn. All right, real quick. We'll put that on for the fans right now. And then we're going to talk about that fight. You're going to tell us about Don King and give us your thing and that. So I'll put that on for a second for the fans right now. Where are we at? Here we go. Let's put that little clip on right now. You won't be able to...
Ashley used to be the British light heavyweight champion, born in Leeds. He says he fights for pleasure and self-satisfaction, not for the money. Michael Nunn was accepted as the best middleweight in the world in the late 80s. Now he's moved up to the 12-stone class.
Championship fight. Tony's a great fighter anyway. Not too much of a reception for Ashley, but I mean, he would have...
Yeah, it didn't really please me, Reg. I don't like to see a former light heavyweight coming in almost as a middleweight. I don't know if nerves has got something to do with that. Maybe he's burned up a little bit. I don't like his weight. I'd like to see him closer to the 12 stone. But I always had a lot of respect for Ashley as a fighter. But this is an immense step up in class.
Nunn, by the way, is just half a pound inside the 12-stone limit. He had a very easy win last time up, and I suppose he's looking for another first-rounder here, Michael Nunn. But that was a disgraceful mismatch. Dan Moore.
But listen, I must admit, man, when I saw that was a wicked fight. Now, so as the commentary just pointed out, you came in, you're fighting for super middle. You've gone down from, so you're like the majority of your career, you've gone down to super middle, right? I want to know how that affected you. Also, Michael Nunn was formerly the pound #1 on the fight. He lost to James Toney, so he's collected the belt at 168. You've come down to fight him at 168. Tell us about the whole thing, the build-up, Don King, how did that fight get together? And then obviously, if you can elaborate in the ring, because I'll tell you what, some of them shots you was laying on him. Listen, man, he's lucky he was moving his head, because he looked like you were going to take his head off. And nothing as well, how come you didn't put the weight back on to where you were near to a light heavyweight? So go ahead.
Well, I walked out in Eastwood camp, and I didn't have a trainer or a manager. I walked out on him. I was letting contract now, and then I got a phone call from Frank Warren, and I said he'd like to talk to me. So I went down to see him, and he was talking. And by the time I got home, I got a phone call saying, "I can get you a world title fight. Can you do some middleweight?" I went, "Yeah, no problem." So then he says, "It's against Michael Nunn." And again, the voice in my head just says, this is your chance, this is your world title that you're destined for. This man can't beat you. So I said, yeah, no problem, I'll take it. And then I went, I don't have a trainer. So I said, leave it with him. So he phoned me back and I went back to Ireland for a day. Fucking idiot. Should never have gone back. And then I ended up with Bob Padgett.
Yeah.
And that was the best thing that ever happened to me. Yeah. And he was down in Darky Smith. I phoned Darky Smith up. I said, Frank Warren's in the 3 names from the trainer. What can you tell me? And he just said, that of all of them, I've never heard a bad word said about Bob Padgett. And that was it for me. So we went over to America 3 weeks to fight. And no, we did 2 weeks in London at the Thomas à Beckett. And then I flew over to America for 10 days. And when we landed, we put us up in this hotel and they said we were going to get us a gym to go training in the morning and they pick us up. We went there was nobody came to pick us up. So Bob went and got in touch with the police and we used the police gym. And the police came and picked us up, but there were no scales in the gym. So for 10 days, we had no access to the scales and no access to a gym. And then we had to do all these press conferences and jump through frigging hoops for it. But yeah, Don King, guys, he's a presence, man.
He's a presence. You like it? What do you think of Don King? You like him?
I really don't know what to say about.
You could be on, you know, the thing, because he some people like him in terms of he's very good promoting, but in the way he's treating, in terms of your, you know, the way you're being treated as a challenger, it's not very, you know, it's not.
But the thing is, it's like, would I do it for the challenger? For my son, if my son became a world champion, and I knew it was dangerous, what would I do to give my son the edge? To give my fighter the edge? You know what I mean? Why not? They tried to pull strokes in the press conference, you know, tried to get me riled, which don't work. It's like the psychological warfare don't work on me. All nonsense. So, yeah, basically that's it, really.
All right. So what's your take? I got my guy Theo Ram out, yeah. Good boxing chat, so he's enjoying the chat, and everyone else. Make sure you guys are thumbs it up. Yeah, we got a legend there in the world. We got the spiritual boxer Crawford Ashley. All right, so he says, what's Crawford's thoughts on Frank Warren? Sure, Frank was in the corner on the Michael Nunn fight. Yeah, what's your take on Frank Warren and what he done for you in terms of, you know, in the corner? Yeah, because
again, made money off me. I got 19 grand for that, and the Americans stole 3 grand off me intact. But I ended up taking 16, walking out with 16 grand, not because the training and all the training expenses.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's finding out who you are. You know, how would I have known what Nunn was like unless I took that fight?
Yeah. So let's talk about the fight itself. I mean, he's one of the most skilled fighters in the sport. He's trying to make a comeback as a southpaw. I mean, what was the strategy going into the fight? I mean, you mentioned the trainer you was with. What was the strategy against the southpaw? Because the right hand was landing well. I was looking the left hook behind the left hook as well, because southpaw was acceptable, but he's slippery though, man. He's slippery.
Man, too slippery. No, I'm serious. I just couldn't hit him.
Yeah.
No, it's like, you know, when you've landed a punch,
yeah.
We're not landing the gloves, so we're just riding the punches. But that's what I was taught as a kid. It was on a different level. You know what I mean? He's the only one out of everybody I boxed. If I had a rematch and I was 100%, I don't know if I could beat him. Everybody else had a problem with. But him, he was something else.
He was. Would you regard him as he, I mean, he was pound for pound number one. He was up there. I mean,
he's the best I've ever boxed.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. 100%.
I know what it's like when you're inside in a ring with somebody, in the ring range, and you throw your best shot, and you just miss. Just miss. So you move a little bit further in, and you just miss again. You move a little bit further in, and then you take two, bam, bam. And it's just that little bit, you know what I mean? Between good and great is a very small, margin.
Yeah.
Very small margin between good and great. I think he was great.
Yeah, I mean, he's not in the Hall of Fame, by the way, not yet. I mean, he had some serious problems after that. I mean, I think he was trying to look for the fight with Roy Jones that never happened, and he found himself in jail. He's out now. He's out of prison now. He had an interview a couple of months ago on one of the YouTube channels, so it's good to see him back. He had actually a fight against the MMA guy in his hometown, so he's doing all right. He's doing all right. But that fight, when I watched the fight, I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "How come no one is talk about that fight? It was an epic fight, man. You know what I mean? You came in, and your record at the time, you had four. I think you had 4 losses, but your knockout was 18 fights and 18 knockouts at the time. I mean, that says it always. Like every man there, if you didn't lose on decisions or whatever, you was knocking Spark out.
No, some were getting stopped. It's like the Jimmy Peters, that was a knockout. That was a stop where he would have got hurt. Have you seen that one?
Which fight is that?
Jimmy Peters.
No. Is that later on or after? Was that before or after? After the Nunn fight?
No, that's before the Nunn fight.
It's before the fight. Okay, Jimmy Peters?
That was the second British title fight.
Okay. Oh yeah, I've got it here. Jimmy Peters. Yeah, I see it there.
You want to watch that fight?
That's a first round knockout, man.
Yeah, that was 55 seconds.
Is that on YouTube?
Yeah.
I need to check that one. I might have missed that one here, man. I mean, because I try to find all your fights, yeah, but I might have missed that one. I got to do a playlist on you. If you've got
it there, like I said, last 50, the clip on YouTube, 7 minutes, but you cut the crap.
Oh yeah, that one I saw. Yeah. The guy edited all the other stuff on it. Yeah, I saw that now.
Yeah, but it's like it makes me laugh because before it, we were already sort of like gearing them up for what's going to happen. Jimmy Peters is a very small starter. I never knew that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I never knew that.
Yeah.
And we prepared. No, I just prepared the way I prepared for all my fights to be in the best shape I can be in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't train or have game plans or watch videos of fighters. I've been given a lot of tools. I know how to use them. You don't take an amateur fix the TV. You take a screwdriver. And people don't get that. You know what I mean? They're taking the same tools into the ring to do the same job. But you can't with certain people. Certain people need different tools.
100%. You're 100%, man. Well, you're right, man. But you brought your lunch back on that one, man. So let's move. Right, that Michael Nunn, to me, that I mean, is a world champion. That's your first world champion. But what'd you learn out of that experience? And you got stopped in the 6th round, but I remember listening to you. Give you high praise in that fight, man. So you really good, man. He give you, for a guy who not really fought on the world scene, he give you real high praise after that fight.
No, because you see, fighters know fighters. You know if you've come to lose. You know if somebody's coming to win. And it's like, who would you rather be? A man who's come to win or a man who's come to lie down? The win means nothing if a man's come to lie down. Win means a lot if a man's come to win. And that's how we gain respect from somebody. I've come to beat you, man. And this is, you're going to get me best. And on the night, you got me best. You know what I mean? Isn't that a great victory for yourself? When somebody you know is not even trying.
Yeah, man. That was a real good fight. So if you guys check that fight, you guys go check that out. My man, is it Gavez? Was it Gavez? He said, yeah, Crawford gave a great account of himself against the top class Nunn. Exactly. World class pound for pound, 100%. Yeah, man, 100%. I mean, he was winning Nunn was winning the Tony fight all through the fight, but he got caught in the last round, man. So you know, and you listen, it's just experience now. What would you change? You know, if you went back in that fight, you know, going through that fight, what would you change if you had a really good build up, and also you could have trained in there? What would you actually change? How would you, or would you just feel like his style is just too slicky for you? What would you have changed? Anything in your mind go through in your fight you'd have changed?
I'd have probably sort of like thrown more favourites and draw his lead and counted his leads.
Oh yeah, that would have been good.
You know, to turn him more into a chess match.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was certain things he was drawing my lead more.
Mm-hmm.
But like I was saying, he was giving me same traps basically. Were giving me openings for me to go for.
Yeah.
And it's just a little bit too, you know what I mean? And then regain the range. But like I said, if everything could have been 100%, my precision and my speed would have been up there. You know what I mean? So I've been throwing fades and countering things. So they've been doing a little bit more countering.
Yeah.
But I think the jab would have been a lot faster as well.
But you know this funny thing about the two of you, you're the Who Knees Boxing Club. He's a tall, slick southpaw, and he didn't really get a real notable fight after that. I think he lost on a decision, and obviously the jail thing. But I think people tried to avoid him. He signed with Don King, the Ben and the Eubank fight, the second fight. If that whoever won that fight was going to kill it, but they had a draw, and he was supposed to fight the winner because he had a belt as well, and that never happened.
Yeah.
It's a shame he didn't get that chance to fight Ben and Eubank. I mean, how would you think he'd have favored against Ben and Eubank?
He'd have destroyed Eubanks.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Yeah, the tough chin. Eubank got chin. He got a chin. You know, he's got a pretty good chin, right?
Eubanks is was crap. And that's only stand on a man could pick and choose his opponents. You know what I mean? He's one of these styles make fights. He picked and chose. The Ben Eubank second fight, Ben won that fight.
Yeah,
I was there.
Oh, you was there in Manchester, Old Trafford.
Yeah, I was there because I seen Nunn again. You know what I mean? We had a bit of a meet up and a bit of a chat.
Yeah, what'd you say to each other?
Eh?
What'd you say to each other?
I don't know. I can't remember, man. How he's doing?
Yeah.
The guy is one of them. Very respectful of Michael. After the fight, I was at the airport, and he come in and I was enjoying free. He says, "What do you want?" He says, "What do you want? I'll buy." Right now, man, it's all right. Forget about it.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it was after the fight. He was such a gentleman. You know what I mean? That's all you can do.
Yeah.
That's what boxing is about.
Yeah. So you're saying Nunn, so Nunn versus Ben. How do you reckon that would have went down then?
I don't know, because Ben used to always seem to have a way and he had some power, man. And like he said, Tony knocked him out.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? But like, Nunn was very awkward being the southpaw. You know, so.
Yeah, he can make people look bad, and he's got a bit of a power. He caught you with a good body shot, ain't it?
Oh, he brought me. Well, he actually didn't break him because it was already broken when I went in.
Oh. You went in the fight with a broken ribs?
Yeah. I forgot I had them. No, I was reminded because I got a really bad memory and I've always had it. It's one of them I forget things very quickly.
Yeah.
And I was in a car crash about 3 weeks before I found out I was fine. So about 6 weeks before the fight, I was in a car crash.
Ooh.
And I broke my ribs. And he told me, he says, "They remember that broken ribs?" He says, "Because we was walking and then he said to me, 'You fighting Michael.' I said, 'You're not fighting Michael.' I said, 'I am.' And then the next day I was done. Because that's how it seemed to happen, you know what I mean? 1 minute I'm here walking down the street, going to the gym with the kids, next minute I'm fighting for the world title.
So the Don Kings, did you get well rewarded for going there? I mean, you're fighting in the pyramid in Memphis. I mean, you've gone all around at this point. You've gone France.
I got 19 grand, and they took 3 grand off me in tax over their federal tax.
Oh yeah, you said you did say yeah. You
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, nah, but like I said, I thought Michael Nunn.
Yeah, you fought one of the best. You check your skills against his skills, 100%. Yeah. Well, 3 months later, you're in against Dennis Andrews, and you're fighting. What's the weight you fight? You're fighting the cruiser. Are you fighting cruiserweight? No, was it like?
No,
yeah, Dennis Andrews. And what's this? What's RTD? The referee stopped the bout. What happened in that fight? So Andrews was floored in was second before Ashley retired on his stool at the end of the fourth. What happened in that fight?
What happened before the fight? I got a migraine attack.
Okay.
Do you know about migraines?
Well, they're very. Bro, if you have a migraine, you can't do anything. You know, your head's throbbing, isn't it?
I have what I call triggers, and my triggers are visual disturbances. So all down one side, all down the left side was like wavy. You know what I mean? I couldn't see, couldn't focus on anything. I just thought, fucking hell, man, it's gonna come. And he was in the ring. I wanted to get him out of there as quick as possible. And I think it just basically, I couldn't see him. You know what I mean? I couldn't see the punches and bumping out. I said, not today, champ. Not today.
Yeah. So
because I'd have continued, you know what I mean? I'd have tried to find a way. But that's my job, and my trainer's job is to protect me. And the referee's job to protect you as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, this 1-1. But Dennis Andrews, obviously, was it 2-time light heavyweight champion, WBC champion? What do you think of Dennis Andrews as a
tough cookie, man? Hard. He just growled at me, put him down, man, with a hard shot, man. He got what? And yeah, he just kept coming, man.
Dennis Andrews, boy. I think he has a problem with boxing. He doesn't want to talk about boxing no more. He doesn't want nothing to do with it.
Because he got screwed by him. And it's like, I didn't know I was boxing Dennis until I was at the venue. You know what I mean? It was supposed to be an easy fight for me to come back. That's your manager for you. Wow. Frank Warren, when you need the fight, come back and push him with Dennis Andrews. You know you will like, don't you?
So his problem was he did like he was a 2-time champion. Who did he get screwed by, and what was the main grievance? He didn't feel like he didn't get respected. What was it?
I just don't think he got paid.
Oh, he didn't get paid.
I just think it was all down to the money. I think he should have been paid the money he deserved. You know what I mean? And the way I see it, the way I looked at it back then, just because we love to fight and we'll fight anybody, we should be paid.
Yeah.
So I got $6,000 to save the show. How much did Eastwood get? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got 19 grand again to save the show. The pyramid was packed out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? TV, coast to coast. I'm putting a show for them. They just go lie down. They won't try to. It wasn't a stinker. You know what I mean? And it's like I got 19 grand, 16 grand for that.
Yeah. Bad. It's bad. And boxing, that's the other side of boxing, the business side of it. You know, the fight should be taken care of. You know, and
well, that's why they don't like Mayweather.
Yeah, he makes sure he gets taken. He makes sure he looks after him.
Any burgers sold in Vegas, he gets a cough. Because if it wasn't for Mayweather performing, they won't come.
Yes.
And that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, and when fighters should see that, they're the ones in charge and they don't like it. The promoters don't like it.
Yeah, that's what I can see that. Ray Robertson did that previously, and obviously Muhammad Ali, he was in control later on, and obviously Floyd Mayweather. And you know, I can see the hatred and everything, but he controls everything, marketing. He's got his merchandise, and he's still relevant and current right now as well. So, and he's still getting paid millions, you know. And he, you know, I saw the other side of it. I think Ashley Fairfax in a fight, he fought Sam Edgerton, and you know what I heard up in the build-up, you know, compared to what he was used to, he said he had to pay for his own travel. He goes, "For the first time in my career, because he was with Mayweather, he signed with Mayweather, he had to pay for his travel, and they put him in a hotel." I know it's doing the COVID thing. I'm not sure if he could train the same thing as you. All of a sudden, Sam Edgerton's warmed up, everything. He's had everything he wanted. he gets in the ring and he's warmed up, ready to go, you know. And Ashley got stopped in the fight, but it was more to do, like you said, it's not in the ring, it's the build up towards the ring of how you're treated, like you said.
And the other people who lose out are the fans.
Yes.
Because they don't get the fight they deserve.
Yes. Oh yeah, 100%. So let's talk about when you finally got your British belt, right? You're going against Nikki Piper in Cardiff as well, where he's from as well. Yeah, I've
already got a belt.
No,
this is my second belt.
Is this the second British belt though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's the European belt you didn't get. That's the one you didn't get for a while. You got a draw there. Yeah, we get that. You're right. You should know it's your career, right? All right. So Nikki Piper, I remember the build up. He's the next kind of golden boy, I guess. Where the next guy they're trying to push. So what happened in that fight? And obviously you win back your belt again. Go on, tell us what happened there.
No, Frank Warren made a mistake there. A big mistake. Phoned me up and told me about my British title fight because I was the vacant champion. I gave it up. So nobody can fight for it unless they fight me because I'm now claiming it back. And Maurice Carr gave it up after pulling out me 5 times. So then he's told me I've got Nikki Piper. Yeah, no problem, it's in Cardiff, no problem. There's a press conference tomorrow, you need to be in Cardiff tomorrow. I was waiting, I need to go and train, I've been in training. And he spoke to me like I was some piece of shit.
Really? Wow.
Oh man, on the phone.
Oh, Frank, was that Frank?
Yeah, Frank Warren. And this voice in my head said, just go down, keep your mouth shut, watch. So I've gone down there and I'm watching and I'm sat down at the press conference, like they get you all sat down and you got to ask questions and then you separate and you go around and you talk to a few of the different reporters. So one guy asked Nikki, how does he think he can beat Crawford? He said, I've been training for the last 6 weeks. I found out last night. I just looked at him and I went, you're going to lose? Frank, you're a cunt.
Wow, is that what they're doing?
And I'm like, just sat there, and now the voice in my head just says, how can he beat you? I've had to give him 6 weeks to get ready for you. He can't. There's no way on this planet this man can beat you. They've had to give him 6 weeks to beat you, to get ready. And now, Nicky's supposed to be a very clever guy, a member of Mensa.
Yeah.
Listlaw. But he's not that clever. No, serious, and this is what I'm saying. Boxing is about observation. Yeah. So we go outside and we do an eyeball to eyeball, and Nicky's looking up at me and he goes, "Ollie," I said, "I'm 6'3" and a bit." He goes, "Well, I'm 6'3 and a half." I said, "Yeah, but mine's a fucking big bit." Yeah. And his face just dropped. But I was in cowboy boots. I had 2-inch heels on him, and he never even realised that. Do you know what I mean? And I just thought, you're not as clever as you think you are. And then I'm talking to his girlfriend. His girlfriend works for Radio Cardiff. And she says to me, what do you think about boxing Nicky in his hometown of Cardiff? And I says, well, the Welsh are very knowledgeable people on boxing. So they'll understand when I have to beat him up. And she just went, oh, Nicky said that. I said, how do you know him? She went, oh, I'm his girlfriend. And I said, and I just looked her straight in the eye, no arrogance. And I just said, I'm sorry, love, but I'm going to have to beat him up. And it was like I'd already done it. You know what I mean? I'd already done it. Because they kind of like peed me off a little bit. Yeah. Because Nicky was, like you said, the golden boy. Yes. He was the heir apparent to the throne. Yeah. And they'll treat him like the champion. That's fine. With the real champions in the house. You know what I mean? And normally, there's a toss of coin to see who goes into the ring first. You know what I mean? The champion always goes in last. This time, no. I had to go in first. So they decided to fuck with the music, which was a big mistake because I wasn't playing games no more. You know what I mean? This is my night. And they says, come on, it's time to come into the ring. Because I'm waiting for the music. They started playing it from halfway. So I said, no, only from the beginning. So he said, "You've got to go in." I said, "No, play from the beginning." Turned around, walked back in, they stopped the music, took it back to another place, not the beginning. And they said, "Right, go." I went, "No, from the beginning." And I went, "God, you got to hurry up." I said, "Look, start the fight without me because I'm not going on until it starts." And that's why they cut, because it was on live TV, and that's why they cut it to 4 rounds.
Oh, yeah.
They cut it to 4 rounds.
Yeah.
Because they were messing around with the freaking ring walk. But like I said, this is my night. You know what I mean? You're not spoiling it for me. So when they played my music and when Nikki were rushed in, and I just boxed his head off. I should have stopped him in the 9th round, but I felt sorry for him. You know what I mean? He eased off it.
Yeah, you dropped him in the 8th.
8th round, yeah, and he eased off him. Right at the end of the 8th round, I catch him with a hook, and his body just goes limp.
Yeah.
And I said to the ref, "He's gone." And the ref, you know what I mean? But it's stupid because all he did is get hurt.
You know, they only had you winning by 1. They only had you winning by 1.5 points. It was 117 to 116. 117.5 points and 116. They only got you winning 1 point.
No, half.
Yeah.
It's half points, 9, 10, 9, 10, 9 and a half. So it's 3 rounds.
Wow.
But the boxing, you had me winning 7 of the first 8 rounds. And I put him down in the 8th. So how the hell can he beat me?
Yeah, I know, but it looked like they were trying to rob you in there, man. It's like
no, I don't think the referee could. Do you know what I mean? I think he wanted to, but he couldn't.
Yeah, that's what. But it's only 1 point though, 1.5 points though. You know
no, that's 3 rounds.
That's 3 rounds.
Yeah, that's 3 rounds.
How's that?
Because you can score points by 9.5 and 10.
Oh, that's a new one. I don't know about that.
No, that's all. You've got to remember where all those are.
Okay, yeah.
There's half points.
Okay. Oh, see.
Yeah, so it's a round. So it's basically 2 rounds with one a full point.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, yeah, but you done him. You get your belts back. I remember listening to your video. So let's talk about the Lonsdale belt, right? There's one where I think you were saying they didn't give it back, and then you'll give us a story about Lord Lonsdale.
No, it was, I don't know how true it is, but when I was a kid, I heard that Lord Lonsdale said no black man would own one of these, a Lonsdale belt. And me being me, I'm having one. I mean, I'm going to get one.
Yeah.
But after that, it was a brand new Lonsdale belt as well, man. And I was in the dressing room and one of the officials come in to get it back. And they said they needed it back. I just thought, fuck you know, man. So I asked them, I says, if Nikki Piper had won tonight, would he have took this belt home? He went, yeah. I said, well, this is my belt. He went, no, we need it back. I just went, oh, fucking take it, stick up your ass. So they had a British champion who didn't even have a belt.
Wow.
That's how the board never liked me.
What was their problem with you?
What's their problem with me is because I'm not controlled. You know what I mean? It's like they've got nothing on me. I will fight anybody, and they know that. You know what I mean? So for me to become a champion, all I need basically is the right time to get ready for it.
Yeah. Well, 100%. Well, you're off again. Hey, listen, I tell you what, your boxing career, you're taking it all over the world, mate. You're off back down to America now. You're going to get one of the longest reigning light heavyweight champions, Virgil Hill.
Oh man!
And I looked that fight. There wasn't really a pleasing fight to watch. I mean, you're going to tell us about it. Richard Steele, you got Hall of Famer referee Richard Steele. Wide. When I watched it, was wide on the cards. Where's that fight? It's in Buffalo Bills Star Arena. What area is that? Where was that? Is that in Dakota?
State line, just outside the Vegas.
Okay, all right. And so tell us about that fight. It wasn't. I mean, he's known, obviously. Virgil was a long-time campaigner at light heavyweight, a long-time champion, WBA champion. Tell us about that fight then.
Crap.
It weren't that good to watch either. Yeah. Why was that?
No, you know something. I couldn't be fucking bothered. I couldn't be asked.
Why?
Yeah, I tell you this no. Why? Because I was gloved up and ready to go in for an hour and a half in the dressing room waiting to fucking win.
Yeah.
Right, Crawford, you're on next. Time to get warmed up. Get warmed up. Right, you're on in 2 minutes. All ready to go. Pops his head around the corner. Next time you see me, we walk into the ring. All good up and ready. His head popped around the corner and goes, oh, we're just putting a fight on. Don't worry, it's going to be over quick. An hour and a half later, I'll get into the ring. Not allowed to take the gloves off. Fuck off, man. You know what I mean? You've got everything in your favour anyway. Yet, you still need to pull strokes like this. For what? What kind of fighter is this, man? You know what I mean? I just, nah. And it's like I said to people before, I felt like I won the fight, but I did feel like I deserved to take his title off him. So it should have been a draw. You know what I mean? But if I'd have gone in when we were supposed to go in, I'd have stopped him.
Yeah.
No problem. I'd have destroyed him.
Probably they knew that as well. They probably knew that because looking at your performance against Nunn, they knew you're decent, so they would play all these little mind games, eh?
No, but the thing is that then it's wrong. Who loses out?
The fans, isn't it? Yeah, the fans.
The fans lose out.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, 100%. Well, you know, I didn't really. I mean, I mentioned his name obviously. Virgil is known there, but you know, long time campaign at Lightweight, but that fight wasn't pleasing.
When I see what happens and what they do, what are they doing to him? To his other opponent? You know what I mean? Have they all had the fair shake?
Yeah.
It's like when I seen this Callum Smith against Canelo. Callum Smith didn't look right. I just thought straight away, what strokes have they pulled on him?
Well, you talk about a bit better beef.
Yeah, I don't know what you call him.
Yeah. He knocked him down in the first or second round, didn't it?
I don't know, man.
But you're right. What things in the background they've done?
Yeah. What's going on?
Oh, you're talking about Callum. Oh yeah, Callum Smith, not Callum. I was talking about Callum Johnson. Yeah, against Canelo. You talk. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm looking at these things and people go, no, but it's like, I know what Canelo does.
Yeah.
He goes into training and then he puts out, we're going to be announcing a fight, you know, soon. And all the fighters are waiting for this ball to be thrown to him. And I think he picks the one who's not in training. You know what I mean? He's in training. And it's like called out Billy Joe. But Billy Joe, I mean, the training is so obvious. He's going to have an advantage.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Canelo's in training now. Who's he in training for?
I think Yildridge.
Nobody knows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah.
But nobody else knows.
Yeah, they get called in the last minute. That's what you're saying, isn't it? To take the fight because it's a payday, and money is money.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's like me and John the Beast Mugabe.
Yeah.
No. I think it was my second year as a pro.
Yeah.
I haven't had a fight for a while, so I went out pointing an house, and I'd been on this house for about 2 weeks. And I walked into the gym on Monday, and he goes, "Where the fuck have you been?" I said, "I've been working, I said, "I do a fight on Saturday." He said, "It was good money. It was in London. They were going to send an helicopter for you." I went, "Oh, great, don't worry." He went, "John the Beast Bulgari." Went, "What? You didn't find me." I just went from fucking didn't find me. Went, "Why?" I said, "Because this idiot took it." You know?
Fucking hell, man. I mean,
yeah. That's how some trainers and managers are.
Well, I don't know. What weight was that would have been? What weight would it? Because he used to fight at light middle for. What weight would that would have been?
Yeah, I think it was when he was a middleweight.
At middleweight, is it after the Hearns or?
You know, that was, you got to remember, it was middleweight and light heavyweight, super middleweight one kind of like about then.
Yeah. Well, that's
you
that's a
for that fight that day.
Yeah. You're right.
So they'd have let me come in at 12 stone and a bit.
Yeah.
You know, because I used to walk around at 12 stone 6.
Yeah.
That was my walking around where I wasn't even training walking around at that.
Yeah, you
can't.
No, I say you keep yourself in great shape all the time. I'm telling you, you to keep yourself always in good shape, fighting shape. Go on.
Nah, it's like I do things that people will walk, drive to the shop. I'll walk to the shop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just go for morning walks. I'm like walking. I'm messing around, playing, doing stupid things. You know, climbing trees. Good for grip and everything. But it was just being active, being fun, and it just keeps you that way.
Bloody yo, John the Beast Mugabe, imagine that. Hey, you know what? That would have been a good fight, man. That would have been a good fight.
No one day's notice. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, one day, yeah, no, yeah, you're right. But you, you're right. You're lucky they didn't fight you. It's true. Hey, did you get offered any other fights that any other notable names that you didn't take or in the situation?
No,
that was just that one, right?
I missed out on.
Yeah, you missed out.
I took I was offered quite a few fights that I took, but never happened. Yeah. You know what I mean? They didn't want to fight. I pulled out.
Who's that? Any big names that we know later on down the line? Or
Tommy Hearns.
Oh, you got okay. There you go. Because I saw the picture. Yeah, I got the picture. I got on the screen in it, and I was like,
three times a man pulled out.
So you were supposed to fight Tommy Hearns at least about 3 times, and he pulled out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Because I got the picture. Yeah.
I was supposed to fight Mike McCallum.
You're supposed to fight Matt McCallum as well.
Yeah, and he pulled out.
What weight was Matt McCallum? What weight? Super middle.
I'd have been like everywhere.
Okay, because he did fight a light heavyweight, and then and Tommy Hearns, you and him was fighting.
Tommy Hearns was a light heavyweight, and then the cruiserweight.
Oh, that would have been nice, man. That's why did Manuel Stewart pull out? What went wrong?
Because Manuel Stewart realized that Tommy got hurt. Because you got to remember, I was in training camp with Lennox Lewis for 6 weeks in Big Bear, California.
Yeah.
So man, he's seen me. I mean, he's seen me up close. Lewis put me down, man, flipping and hit me with a body shot. I thought he broke my ribs again. Oh. And they were telling me to come out, and I said, no, I'm doing the next round. Because he was working off the jab. You know what I mean? He wasn't supposed to beat me, but he caught me with a frigging body shot, man. Oh, man. Took all the wind out of me. But I did my next round. And the box through it, and people say, why? I said, because if I get winded in the ring, I've still got to frigging carry on. I'm not here for the payday, I'm here because I'm training for a fight. You know what I mean? So Manuel Stewart sees that kind of mentality. And then when it took me over to Detroit for the press conference, trying to impress me, and realised that I don't psych out, and Tommy Hearns didn't hold no fear for me. It was one of my heroes. You know what I mean? And I'm going to box one of my heroes. Oh, brilliant, man. No, and I get up for that.
Yeah.
You know? Tommy, the hitman learned and I stopped him. Oh, brilliant. Fantastic.
Yeah. So you was going to be fighting for what's this belt here? The IBO belt. IBO light heavyweight belt. That's what, because he was a 5-weight, because he became the first 5-weight champion.
Right. This is, like I say, I mean, I lost all interest in him after that. Yeah. After what he did. Wow. Pulled out. Not good.
Yeah. What's up, Jalik? Yeah, I'm good, man. Wow, man. That's the, because I was wondering what the picture was, because Hector Camacho was there in the picture, so that he probably was on the card and other guys. Okay. So that's why.
I don't even remember that.
You don't remember
that? That's how significant it was for me. You know what I mean? Very insignificant.
Yeah. Wow, man. What's up, H Money? Yeah, man. Well, boy, man. Well, at least we know that still, because I was wondering, you got a picture and then head to much, and that's what you know now. So that's where that comes from, the picture. You man, you was gonna fight Tommy Hearns. Some people that was
the press conference to announce it.
Yeah. That would have been great, man. How would you have fought Tommy Hearns?
I'd have hit him.
What's your game plan? What would have been your game plan?
To hit him.
The hit him, yeah? The same thing.
No, this is it. It's like, if you look at the fights, if you watch my fights, all I want to do is hit you. Yeah, sometimes I'll come straight at you, sometimes I'll go around you. You know what I mean? I'll circle you both ways, but I'm going to hit you.
Wow.
You know, I'm not in there to mess about. You know, I want to go straight to work.
100%, man. 100%. Well, listen, man. For the fight fans, when we got the Michael Nunn fight, the Tommy Hearns fight would have been good. Yeah. I appreciate H Money, man. They hit the like button, you guys. We got the spiritual boxer Crawford Ashley in the house, man, giving us some knowledge. All right, let's go back into your box rec, right? And we're gonna cap it obviously after boxing, but let's stick around. So you went back to Germany. See, and this is the thing, you're doing a world tour, right? You've gone to Germany, you got a 1-round knockout of this guy Frank Minton. Tell us about that fight, a 1-round knockout. I mean, he's got 28 wins, 27 losses with 2 draws.
What happened. I was supposed to be fighting Maurice Corp, we pulled out, and Frank Warren got me this fight in Germany.
Okay.
Just to keep me ticking over, really.
Okay.
You know what I mean, giving me a bit of a payday. But no, it was cold, man. I remember it being -18, and I was on second.
Who's the main event? Who's the main event in that card then?
I don't know. I didn't care.
Okay.
I just wanted to get back to my hotel.
Yeah. It's knock him out and let's go back. Get him money.
No, but what happened is I just caught him with a really hard jab, and he didn't want to know.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And as soon as that happens, jump on him, and referee's got to stop it, haven't he?
Yeah.
I just caught him with one jab and he was really weak one, man.
Yeah. All right. Take it. But that's one thing about you. Make sure you knock him out. All right. So, the vacant European title against Roberto Dominguez, right? So, you get 3 rounds, 3 rounds. You did it in Everton Park Sports Centre in Liverpool. Tell us about so is this the first time you get your European belt, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Go on. No trinkets.
Yeah. Definitely trinkets. So you get your European belt. Tell us how you felt about that, and you knocked him out in 3 rounds.
No, I was going to knock him out.
Yeah?
I knew exactly what punch I was going to knock him out with, and I knew what round we were going to knock him out with. About 3 weeks before that fight, I was in the office, and Bologna phoned Tony up. And when he mentioned his name, because he had on the speaker, I just said, I'm going to knock him out in the 3rd round with right uppercut. And Tony says to me, I'm not bothered what you do as long as you win. I just said, it's the 3rd round right uppercut. It's like I've already knew what was going to happen. And it was just weird. It was just a weird time, right? I think at the time I was number 2 in the WBA. The champion was Roy Jones, and Roberto Dominguez, was number 4.
Yeah, his record is 22 wins with 3 losses. Yeah.
And one of them were against the world champion, Darius Mikochescu.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah. That's the one Roy Jones didn't want to fight.
So, well, I've lost myself now.
No, you was talking about the fight, the Dominguez fight.
Oh, yeah. So I remember Dominguez is number 4, I'm number 2. And like I said, everything I knew exactly what I was going to do before we even did it. And we was working on this punch, parry the jab and throw the uppercut, dip the knee for the uppercut, and I couldn't do it. For about 2 fights, and then in that fight, everything just came together. The jab came out too large, just parried it, dipped my knee, and I knew I wasn't getting up. I just knew.
You know what, that Lennox Lewis was a master of uppercut, especially against shorter fighters. Was the Dominguez quite short? I don't know his height. I'm just saying. Was he shorter?
But you see, if you watch some people with the jab, they stick the red down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The jab and then they look at the floor. And that was one of them stupid jabs where we did that, and it just worked perfectly. And then when I'm walking back to the corner, Bob just says, you could have looked him out with the punch we was working on, couldn't you? And I just cracked out laughing. But then the following month, the rankings came out, and I was number 15.
Well, you're back in this in number 15 in the world, right? That's good.
But before the fight, number 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You were saying, innit? Yeah, you just be yeah.
So Roy Jones is the champion. They don't have a number 1. I were number 2. I beat their number 4, and my reward for that I get dropped to number 15.
Wow, that's crazy, isn't it?
That's boxing.
That's madness. So you know what? How would you love to fight Roy Jones? That would have been an interesting fight, wouldn't it? Or Darren? You'd have beat Roy Jones?
Yeah.
That would have been good to see, man. I'd have loved to see that.
No, easy.
Go on, talk for it then. Talk us through it then.
Why? Because what I seen with Roy Jones, everybody who boxed never threw punches. As soon as he opened up with his combinations, they'd cover up. And then they'd flow back when knees stopped. But when you're throwing punches, combinations, I'm throwing punches with you.
In between his punches, right?
No, I'm throwing combinations with you. I'm throwing punches back. We're swapping punches. Yeah. I'm not covering up and taking your shots, and then when you finish, I'm throwing at you.
Yeah.
As soon as you start throwing combinations, I'm throwing because I know you're open.
Yeah. Well, that's how he got knocked out by Taba, you know. Same thing, he was throwing one, and Taba counted him straight away.
Yeah, this is what people don't realize. You know what I mean? All these is a puzzle, and it's a puzzle that needs solving. And when you're seeing somebody doing something, how would I be? No problem. You know what I mean? He can throw combinations of me like that, 6 and 7, without taking 2 or 3 back. And when I eat you, I'm going to eat you hard. You know what I mean? The jab's not soft, it's going to be hard. The hook's not soft, it's going to be hard. And it's like, I'm one of these as well, who every punch I throw, I'm throwing to hit you. And if I can hit you, I'm going to hit you hard. So every punch is a hard punch. You know, don't mess about with these tips. They're all hard punches. If you watch the video, you can see they're all hard.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you can crack, man. I mean, listen, hey, I tell you what, man. People got their money's worth when you're on your game, man. So you went to after that year, you go to France, you win a majority decision against Pascal, whatever his name is, Pascal.
Broke my wrist in that fight.
You broke your wrist in the fight, yeah?
Yeah, 3rd round again.
Oh man.
No, that was a painful night as well.
Yeah, you get your belt, you keep your belt with you, and then you come back to England now, and then there's Alexander Palace in Muswell Hill, and you get took out in the second round against this. Was it Oleg
Clemenson?
Yeah, who's this guy? Yeah. Who's that? I've never heard of him before. How come you lost to him in the second round? What happened there?
Everyone got caught, got knocked out. My mind wasn't on the job, I was fit, but my mind was somewhere else.
Oh yeah?
Outside influences.
You can elaborate on that now?
I just go with my missus.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And I went in a very good place, and I received a phone call from the day of the weigh-in, and I shouldn't have fucking answered it.
Oh, one of them ones there, just knocked you back for 6. Okay, yeah.
I didn't want to be there. You know what I mean, I wanted to be somewhere else, and yeah, one mind wasn't on the job.
Oh, okay.
And I got taken care of.
Okay, well, hey, listen, you bounce back, mate. You bounce back. You're not hanging around. Go ahead.
Because to me, it's I made a mistake. I know once you make a mistake, I'm in a game. I've knocked out people, and you're in this kind of game that if you make a mistake, you're going to get hurt. And I made a mistake, and I got hurt. Yeah. Don't mean I'm going to make the same mistake again. Yeah. So why am I carrying it around with me? It was just a freaking mistake. Yeah. Forget about it.
No. Hey, listen, it shows because in the second round, you got your British, still got your British belt. I mean, you lost the European, you got your British belt. You come back, get Monty right, and you knock him out in the second round. What? You want to talk about that one? Tell us about that one then.
No, that was just, to me, that was funny because the knockout was a bad knockout. I got suspended from the Greece boxing board for, I think it was 6 months or something. You know, they said that bad a knockout.
Yeah.
And now, all of a sudden, I've got a glass jaw, I'm fragile, I'm gunshot, I'm a shot fighter, and this and that. All the so-called boxing experts writing me off. and Money Right, and it was like I went down to do an interview with Sky, and they said that Money Right said he can beat you because he knows how you're going to box. I said, how does he know how I'm going to box? And I don't even know I'm going to box. He went, what do you mean? I said, I haven't got a clue how I'm going to box. He says, you must have a person. No, I says, how do I? I don't even know how he's going to box. I'm just going to react to what he does.
Oh, beautiful. That's beautiful. That is. See, that's it. You just go in the ring and work things out as they go, right?
Yeah. Yeah, to me, if I'm in fit and in shape, I can take care of myself in that ring. Now I don't have to worry about it. So I went down there and he was doing his ring walk and he walked into I Believe in Miracles.
Was it Hot Errol? What's his name again? Errol.
Yeah. I believe in miracles. Not tonight, mate. Not tonight. That's all I kept singing every time I heard that. I was singing along with it. I believe in miracles. Not tonight, mate. Not tonight. And then I went in there and I think he got the shock of his life because I think most people did. Because I wasn't frightened. You know what I mean? Yeah, I might get hit, but I'm not bothered. I'm with you before you with me. And get rid of him.
Yeah, you definitely done that, mate. You done him in the second round, and then you go on against Tony Booth, and you win the vacant Commonwealth, which is called you back in the days, called the British Empire's light heavyweight. Is that the first time you won the Commonwealth belt, or you won it before? Yeah. Against Tony Booth, and his record, he's actually got he's got 28 wins with 43 losses. Was he a journeyman?
Yeah. Well, the thing is like look at some of the people he's beat.
Oh, he's beat some good people, yeah?
He's beat some very good people.
Go on then, tell us about him.
He's one of them type of people. He'll be in the pub and somebody say, oh, I've got you a fight tonight. And he'll go take it. Short notice. Without any training, without any of that. No, Tony was a far better fighter than his record. Far better fighter than his record. He just want interesting training for him.
So talking about that, you know, see some people with like loss in their record. To you, losses on people's records to you, would you say that just shows their experience as long as they take it in a positive way? And Tony Booth was one of them guys that he losses to him was like it was just it's an experience. It wasn't something to be yelled at or something to be shunned because people realize in this day and age that undefeated record, having a perfect record, is something to be like put up there. But really and truly, the losses is all about. You know, did you learn from it and you come back from it?
Yeah, that's to me. That's what it's about. But I just think Tony was then like the opponent. They might have won quite a few decisions, but because he wasn't the own fighter, they went the other way. You know what I mean? So a lot of them out there, they're going in this like 90% chance they're going to lose. There's only a 10% chance they're going to win. You know, no matter what happens, it goes the distance. You don't get the decision. You know, so some people tell that if you win and you're knocking them out, you're not getting fights. They don't want you.
Yeah, boxing's a strange one, man. A strange one. Well, let's move on. Well, for this is the first one as well. I'm looking on your record. You put all your belts on the line. You got your European belt, light heavyweight belt. You got your Commonwealth belt. You just won recently, and your British belt. You've won numerous times. You put them all on the line against Clinton Woods. You get stopped in the 8th round. How come you put all the belts on the line? And what was the leading up to? Was the winner out? Because I know Clinton fought Roy Jones later on. Was it that? Because it's around 99 now in the career. So. What was going on? I
was supposed to fight Henry Wharton.
Okay. Oh, someone else. Okay.
Henry Wharton pulled out, and I would go in and then the fight with Clinton was made, and I think we had to suspend it because I was, you know, I had a virus. I was a bit freaking gutted. Yeah. But to me, fights are made. I've got to go in for them. I've got to take them. And that's I'm a boxer. Now it's just on the night I had. One round, I made 13 stone free the day before the weigh-in. And I had to get down to 12.7. Yeah. And I was in the David Lloyd in the steam bath and this and that. Oh. And oh man, my teeth were dry. My ears were, I was in a bad place, but I went in there and gave everything I had. I had 1 round and then I think I went 7. And Bob me chucked me through the towel in.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
But to me, I'm the champion. If you beat me, you deserve all the titles, mate. Not just one, you deserve them all.
You put them all on the line that day.
But you have to. You have to. How can you call yourself a European champion if a man's beat you?
Yeah,
and he's in Europe. How can you call yourself a Commonwealth champion if the man's beat you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I put the British title on the line. And he beats me. But I'm still the European champion and still the Commonwealth champion. That's wrong, man. You know what I mean? No. You win them, you deserve them all.
What did you think of Clinton Woods anyway? What's your
Well, my thing, he was a very good, strong fighter. You know what I mean? He was tough. He took everything I had and he came back and, you know what I mean? I take me off to him. You know, he's one of these old school. They go in the gym and do the work. You know what I mean? Put the work in and it pays off.
Well,
so, yeah, you know what I mean? I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, Clinton Woods, yeah, definitely underrated as he was pretty good. He won the belt.
Yeah.
I think he had too many shots. He had three attempts. I think he won it on his 3rd attempt. He got the top. Glenn Johnson is, you know. I mean, you know, it's lucky because it's just timing, isn't it? Like, you know, when your career, you're coming from like the 80s and into 2000, where the division is, every boxing's loosened up, the belts are loosened up, you know. Roy Jones at that point, he's gone on to fight heavyweight. He vacated all the belts. It's a shame, isn't it? Because
if I'd have beaten Clinton Woods, I still never boxed Roy Jones.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have wanted to fight me.
Yeah. Roy didn't want to fight you, know?
No. It's like I don't even know the amount of fighters who didn't want to fight me. But Bob McBurney said my story in boxing is not about who you fought, it's about who wouldn't fight you. You know what I mean? And he was Frank Warren's right hand man. So who didn't find me? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you know, after the loss to Clinton Woods, you moved up to heavyweight. Is that the only time? Is it heavyweight you're fighting at 188? Is that heavyweight? No, actually, After Clinton Woods, you fought at 211. That's heavyweight, isn't it? You don't.
I bloomed right up. I went up to about when I finished, I went up to 22 stone.
Yeah.
So that time I went up to 18, and I was just a big. Yeah.
We won on points, all right, and then you're fighting at night. You're fighting at 94, right? That's like this is like cruiserweight, 194, and then you lost a 188 at this guy Sebastiaan. What's it? Rothmann. Yeah, Rothmann. In where is he? Oh, that was in
South Africa.
That was in South Africa.
No, that's where we were from.
Yeah, that's where he was from. Yeah, you lost against him. What happened in that fight in your last fight of your pro career?
I was just too slow. The openings I was seeing, I couldn't get, and they caught me with a punch and just put me to sleep.
Wow! And then
no, I just knew that was my time had come to an end.
And the thing is, most people think when your boxing career, when your life's finished, but your life's still going on. So now we're talking about life after boxing. You know, the spiritual boxer, Crawford Ashley. What after the thing? What was you doing with yourself after, before you found yourself where you were? Well, we've got you. We're happy to have you here on social media and YouTube. So tell us the journey of how you got to this point where you're on social media.
Well, I've only just started like last year.
Yeah.
It was the eldest asked me if I'd teach him to box, and it's like I've always said, I'll teach people to box if they want to learn to box. And so many people talk about it, but they don't want to put the work in. You know, they don't want to put the ethics in that, and they're being taught by other people and all this lot. And I was 18 and he asked me if I'd teach him. So I says, yeah. And I kind of like fell back in love with it. You know what I mean? Of what boxing's about. I'm going to teach him what it's about, the respect side of it. And, you know, what I was taught, basically, And it's nice to get somebody who's listening and wants to learn that. How do you knock somebody out? How do you do this? How do you punch hard? He's not interested in that. He just wants to learn to box. And I want to teach. But when I retired, it was the worst thing I ever did. It was the best thing I ever did. I tried to kill myself a few times. One of them was the bike. Crashed the bike on the M62 85 mile an hour.
Oh gosh.
Destroyed me hand. And all I could think of is, even God don't want me.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Even God don't want me. No, serious, man. I was in some, serious dark place. And that was it. Yeah, even God don't want me. I mean, and I was in intensive care for about 6-7 weeks. Came out of hospital with a big frame on me and a nail bolt on my leg. And it was just the journey from there to here. I got told I'd never use my arm again. And again, the voice just says to me, they don't know you. I ended up going travelling, which was one of the best things for me. I changed my diet. And I just became, who am I? That was it, finding out who you are. You're Crawford Ashley, the boxer. You're Gary Crawford, the boxer. No, I'm not. I don't box. Who the frig am I? Who are you? And then I realised I'm just me. Every other thing is just what I do. You know what I mean? Crawford Ashley was just a boxer. That's all he did. Who was Crawford Ashley when he's not boxing? What does he do? He's just chilling. The only time I'm actually a boxer is when I'm in the ring. So who am I the rest of the time? And that's who you got to find out, and that's who I am. I am a person who loves to box. I'm a person who loves to teach boxing. I mean, I'm a lot of things. There's a lot of things I like. There's a lot of things I do. There's a lot of things I want to do. So I'm not just one thing. It's like I said to somebody, this is one thing I found when I was traveling. 2 questions people always ask where I was. One was, have you got Wi-Fi? And what's the password? And when anybody ever talks to me, the first thing they say is, what do you do? I don't do anything. And the way they look at you is, how can they gauge you? What can I talk to this person about? What does he know? What's his intellectual level? What's his money level? You know what I mean? What do you do? I'm a doctor. Oh, blah, blah, blah. They can start talking to you. What do you do? I'm a builder. Ah, blah, blah, blah. They can start talking to you. What do you do? No. And I said to one of them, I'm a human being, not a human doing. I don't need to do something to be somebody. I just am. You know what I mean? I'm just me. Mad, silly, daft, stupid, brilliance, genius, all them things. You know?
Yeah, man. That's deep, man. That's open my mind up, because people do tend to do that. They ask you, strangers, oh yeah, you get talking. Oh, what do you do? What do you work as? And then you honestly say, I don't do anything. You know what I mean? It's like they just like look at you, because at that point people judge you and they know how to talk to you. So if you don't, rather than judge people, just have a conversation and this vibe of this vibe. Why do we have to judge each other?
Because that's how we set out. We've got to have a standard. It's like the thing with people don't know I'm a boxer. As soon as they know I'm a boxer, it's like, I didn't know he was a boxer. You can string a conversation together, and I just thought, this is one of the stupidest things out. Everybody thinks boxers are stupid. Boxers are some of the most cleverest people on the planet, because the brain has to work that quick. I mean, what's my feet doing? What's my hand doing? What's my head doing? What's his feet? What's his hand? Can he be in that position? Right, you know what I mean? Can I get it? Can I get in? And your mind's working that quick that we're not stupid. And then you've got people talking to you like you're stupid, like you're thick. But if they don't know where you're at, they can't talk to you. You know, they always want either to be above you or outside of you. And if you just tell them that you don't do anything, they don't know. And if you know, as soon as you tell somebody you're interested in boxing, they're all experts.
Yeah.
Everybody's an expert.
Boy, that's some serious stuff they did. I mean, some serious wisdom. So let's talk about the wisdom about, because this is one thing, because you was dropping jewels. Daniel Dubois versus Joe Joyce. I mean, you saw that you're sitting there watching that fight, and what's going through your mind? I mean, they this Daniel Dubois, they pumped him up. Yeah, he's a big, muscular guy and everything, right? And they tell him he's going to be the next coming and all these things there. And he goes in there and he's just getting his head popped off and his eyes smashed up and this stuff like. You know, I was listening to some training because I listened to everyone's point of view. And what one thing was saying, what made the eye worse is the end swell. Is what the guy was doing. He was pushing the pressure on where the swelling was, right, on his eye. And then obviously the guy comes out and the guy's jabbing the eye. And that end up all that excessive pressure and he pushes the eye to. That's why it broke these the fracture around his eye. What's your take on that fight anyway?
Yeah, well, let's start with the iron swells. The iron swells have never worked. They've always caused the swelling. And people have done it from time. And they're not listening to the scientific evidence and they don't change it. And they still do it because it's being done. And like I say, it's what happened to Dubois' eye. Yeah. But I think his problem started with Batics. He couldn't swap a jab. He couldn't take a jab away. It's like I was talking to my boy and he goes to me, yeah, Dad, but Joyce's head don't move. You know what I mean? You can hit him hard and his head don't move. I said, so what do you do? He said, what do you mean? I said, so what do you do? You can't knock him out. What do you do? Well, boxing. You know, you work to the outside of his jab, you slip to the outside in with 2 or 3 shots. Every time Dubois throws a shot, not Dubois, every time Joyce throws a jab, you want to win with 2 or 3 punches and then move. Because Joyce's jab's quite kind of slow. You know, slip inside 2 or 3 shots and then just spin out. Go to the outside, 2 or 3 shots and then move. Nick the rounds. You know what I mean? Don't want to knock him out. Don't get teared up. But he couldn't even just parry the jab. You know what I mean? Because most of them have what was called answering the telephone. You know, you've got the phone inside of your ear. Yeah. Like someone's going to throw a hook and the jab's coming straight through the centre. And the head's going back. Boom, boom. Wow. Move your head up, put your hand in front of it, catch the punch, and jab straight back. You know, because you know it's there. But that was just it for me. I just don't like how everybody was coming out and slagging him off for quitting and all this lot. And I just think you lot have got no idea whatsoever.
So yeah, well, tell us on that then. So you know, he took a knee, and you know the pain was so much, and then you know the referee counted him out. He just they didn't train him right. That's what you're saying. No.
Right. What happened in that fight? From my point of view, from my experience of where I've been, the pain is that bad. It cuts a connection to your leg. Yeah. In the Nunn fight, you can watch it. As soon as he hits me there, my knee just bends, it just goes. Yeah. I was lucky because as soon as I went down, it disappeared and I could get back up. But it seemed to me that when that pain's got and his leg's gone, boom. But the pain had eased. You can't get up when you're in some fucking serious pain, man. You know what I mean? And these people are like, you give up, he's a coward. I'm thinking, wait a minute, what's the matter with him? Remember Ben and Gerald McKellen? Yeah. McKellen did exactly the same. Now tell me to call him a coward. No. He took the knee in the ring, remember? McKellen stepped back from Nigel and took the knee. Yeah. That's the pain. The body, you can't do nothing when the body says, no, I've had enough for today. There's no you can do, you can't get it back up, you ain't gonna do it. You know what I mean? And as soon as the 10 count comes and your body knows it's not going to get hit no more, it will let you get up. And it looks like you give up. You haven't give up. You know what I mean? You want to get up, but you just can't. Your body won't let you. And that's the thing about it. You've got your mind, your body, and your spirit. Mind, body, soul. They've all got to want to do this thing. If the body's getting hurt, it will take the knee. You know what I mean? If the spirit don't want to do it, your body ain't getting in the ring. You know what I mean? And if your mind don't want to do it, you're going to get hurt. So all three have to be in sync. You know? And you've got to listen, and the body took over and shut you down and won't listen no more. And that's what I say to people, you've got to listen to your body, because if you don't, your body will shut you down.
100%, man, 100%. And the learning the skills and stuff helped as well. You saw Andy Yard's attempt against Sergio Kovalev in Russia. Did you see that fight?
Yeah.
What was your take on that one?
I just thought he bit off more than he could chew. And it was, you see, I'm not into all this hype and shit. And that's what I think I see with Anthony. There's a lot of hype there. You know what I mean? And this line in the house don't mean anything. Lines in fucking circuses, lines in zoos. You know what I mean? Why be a lion? You know, why not be a man and stand up and go in there and fight like a man, and when you win, bust like a man, and don't cry about it. You know, go back to the drawing board and come back better. Learn from this. Learn from the one that in, what do you call it, in, where was it, Russia?
Yeah.
Why did they have to empty the tank? Why couldn't they bide it this time and pick the shots? You know what I mean? We caught him, and then empty the tank on him. We catch him once, why can't I catch him twice? You know what I mean? Pick your moments. You can't just show that inexperience. Take your time, invert him. Yeah, play another time. Pick your punches. You go in there swinging and throwing everything. You're going to have nothing left. And that's what happened. And again, what put him down was it the jab.
Yeah, the jab. The jab. Seems to be the thing, the signal thing. You see the Lyndon Arthur fight. You know Pat Barrett?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was around my era as well.
Yeah, from Manchester. What do you think about that fight, Lyndon Arthur and the Yard fight?
I thought Yard got his head boxed off.
How did you score it?
I don't do scores like that. I just look at who I thought won the round.
Okay, fair enough.
You know what I mean? And then it's like overall who I thought won the overall fight, and I just thought I boxed his head off. You know, it's coming forward and all this stuff. I don't get why people score coming forward, aggressive. I don't get it.
Yeah. You have to land punches, mate. You have to land. Someone's landing or someone's not. You know.
Yeah. It's just like I just thought, and he landed the cleaner punches. You know. But that's life, isn't it?
Yeah.
I hope he learns. I hope he comes back, and I hope he. I mean, because he's a good fighter. He's Arthur, not Arthur. Yeah. I'd have liked to have boxed him when I was, you know, if there'd have been people like him around. But again, I don't think there's a box match.
Yeah, well, you know, well, you're probably right about that. What do you think Daniel Dubois needs to do when he comes back, or do you think he needs...
Personally, you should be working on it now. More suppleness in his hip, the movement, so he can move his head, so he can pull off shots and work the jab, and learn to move his right hand in front of his face to block the jab.
Yeah.
I don't think many of them do, you know, sessions on defense. You know, when they're going to the gym, just pounding the back and every sparring.
Yeah, offense, just pure offense. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't do many defense. You know what I mean? And it's like defense is the key. Yeah.
Yeah, we got my man Craig Dogsy in the chat. Big shout out to you guys. Make sure you guys all thumbing up in the chat. Appreciate it with you guys. Go, yes, that's the one, mate. Do you have that fight? Could you see? Look, I think they're having this conversation on YouTube. I think they're having another conversation. That's good. All right, so we got past that fight, the prediction. So, which fight these days you actually look at and say, you know what, I like him. You know, he conducts himself in the mannerism that you like.
Caleb Plant.
You like Caleb Plant? Really?
Yeah.
He's going through emotional time. I think his mum died recently. Someone died.
Well, when I was like looking into him, I liked him. And I can't remember his name. It's Macaulay. Or Macaulay.
Yeah, Caleb. Yeah.
Is it Macaulay?
Who's that you talking about?
Heavyweight.
Oh, Bacoli, yeah. Is it thingy Bacoli, Martin Bacoli, yeah, heavyweight, yeah.
Did he just stop somebody over the weekend?
Yeah.
Last fight, stopped him. Meet him, you can say Mike Sugar's down. I like him. He seems all right. Now there's a few out there.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not really, like I said, I fell out of love with boxing.
Yeah. You're gonna have to tell. Go ahead.
No, because it just like I said, there was a lot of drug use around. You know what I mean? I just thought it's bollocks.
We're taking steroids and stuff like that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's like coming out. And to me, if it takes steroids, it's wrong. But if you're going to take them, you should let it be known. And then the fighter has a right to either take the fight or not.
What do you think of guys who actually take steroids and go into fight with another fighter? What's your opinion of them?
Me, I think they don't believe that they're good enough. That's why they have to have an edge, a performance edge, because they don't really believe they're good enough. That's my belief.
No.
Why would you take it if you thought you were the best in the world?
Yeah.
Why would you need it? You needed this thing that other people can't take. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. So, shout out to October Red. Happy to have you over. Hopefully, you can try and talk to Crawford. Actually, try and get him on your show as well. That'll be good. If you ain't subscribed to October Red, make sure you subscribe to her. She has great interviews on our channel. Why did you? So you fell in love because of the way the way the boxing board treat you. You don't. That's the one thing as well. And there's the drug cheating as well, and this it just had
everything. The referees, the bad decisions, the crap. Yeah. I mean, it was just bollocks. You could see it. You were losing everything that it was supposed to be for me.
Yeah.
And then, but that's life.
Yeah. All right. So going forward now, you got your YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed there, Crawford Ashley, the spiritual boxer on YouTube. What going forward? What we trying to? What were you looking to do? Just carry on. I like your little videos, your little words of wisdom. I really appreciate the jewels and you showing the gym. Your son, what's your son? Because your son amateur still.
No, he's never had a fight. He only started about June 6 months ago.
Oh, he hasn't had an amateur fight yet, or not?
No.
You're gonna make him stay an amateur.
No, I'd rather than go straight pro.
Oh, you're gonna. How old is he now?
19.
Oh, you go straight pro. Are you managing? Obviously, you're his trainer, but
no, it's up to him. Whatever he wants to do. But to me, why should go into an amateur game where again it's all if the face don't fit, you've got no chance. My face never fits. So for him to know he's my son, you know what I mean? He's not going to get it. But in the pro game, it's a different story.
What's the difference then?
What's the difference is if we get the fights, you know what I mean? We're going to win them. Yeah? We're going to win them. Or if we don't win them, they're going to look like you're being bad decisions. You know what I'm saying? So you take it out of their hands.
Yeah.
You can win everything as a schoolboy, as an amateur, and still not get to represent your country because in that the pinnacle of what you want to do as an amateur, represent your country. So why is he going to waste his time because he's not going to get to the pinnacle there? And then he's going to come out and have to learn another trade, which is the pro game, which you might well go straight into anywhere.
That's a good point. You probably link up with Pat Barrett at that point, isn't it?
I don't know. Whoever comes in to my sort of like thing, it's like I was saying before on one of them about the people around boxing are the ones who are quiet, they're in the background. All these superstar trainers and things, they're all out doing something. You know what I mean? And to me, that's just bollocks. People like Pat who are in the background, who are just doing it for one thing, the love of boxing. You know what I mean? We've got a love for it, a passion for it. We understand what it does. It brings people together. Gyms, the community centres, the way kids learn how to become men with respect, how to become decent grown-up adults. You know what I mean? Yeah. And to me, it seems like a lot of that's being lost. Because with all this MTK and all this and this big money fights and Tyson Fury and AJ is going to get 100 mil. All kids can see is the 100 mil. They don't see the work that's gone in to get to that level to be able to earn that. They just see the top part. And I think it can be done on social media. I mean, there's a lot of it done. It's like that flipping guy who, Logan Paul or somebody.
Yeah, Logan Paul, and his brother Jake Paul, yeah.
You know what I mean? You've got a YouTube channel, you've got loads of these followers, now you're going into boxing. But yet, you can't box, but you get big money, you get top in the boot. It's like, fucking hell, man. No, it is. It's like, I feel sorry for these kids who put hours and hours and hours, years in. You know what I mean? And not even getting an opportunity to get to that. You know, to find these big shows. It's just wrong.
Yeah. It's like you said, if your face fits and who you know and money, they just buy it. They could buy what they want. I mean, Donald Trump, he's left the White House. Some people getting privileges that other people don't get. They buy. So you got this posh kind of fighters wouldn't be nothing in the gym, and all of a sudden they get a chance to get in a ring against their mate and earn a lot of money.
Yeah, it's funny. Well, that's just life.
Yeah. Well, so what's your take? All right, last one. Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. Who you got winning that fight?
Tyson.
Go on, tell us how. Tell us how then. Because I got Joshua winning that fight. Go on, tell us how.
No, the thing is that I think it's going to be an easy fight. But I think for me, Tyson's just got too much boxing knowledge. Knows how Tyson do and get him out of the rhythm. You know what I mean? I think Joshua's going to learn a lot in this fight. An hell of a lot. You know what I mean? I think the second fight will be a better fight, and I think Joshua will win the second fight. But the first one, I just think Tyson's got just too much boxing knowledge. Knowing how Tyson do, knowing how to mess him about. And he's also got that mental game as well going on. He gets inside your head.
Yeah, he does. You know, he's very good at doing that, man. He's very good at that. But don't you think Joshua coming forward, some of the guys Joshua's fought, you know, Dillian White is very good at getting in people's heads, and the level of the because you know I agree with you about everything you said about Tyson boxing, but Anthony Joshua's level of consistency against good fighters, he always keeps himself in shape. He's inside game. But if he gets close to Tyson doesn't really like fighting up close because he's got very long arms. So Joshua could probably, if Joshua gets in that space in there, he can start putting his combination together. And Tyson's been down by cruiserweight Steve Cunningham before, and he's been down against Wilder a couple of times. He'll get up though. It's not like he stay down on the canvas. He'll get up. Joshua gets up, but I feel like with Tyson, it's more to do with he's definitely got the heart and he's a good boxer, excellent boxer. But I feel like maybe Joshua got the better of him because he's more you know, as a pro like yourself as a pro, he's more consistent as a pro. That's what I feel. You know what I mean? And the level he's been fighting consistently, the best level where Tyson fights off against Otto Wallin and then these other guys that really truly shouldn't even be in the ring with us taking the mick. What do you think about that?
Yeah, but the thing is, this Tyson level drops as well when he's fighting the people. Wallin, he don't perform.
That's true.
When you're going into a level fight, a different fight, like I said, I think Tyson's looking at this as a 50-50 fight. So he knows he has to be in condition. He knows he has to peak because he's going to get beat. Yeah? AJ's, like I say, he's got all them things in place. But there's that experience. They're getting messed up. They're getting held. They're getting roughed up. They're ain't 17 stone laid on you. Do you know what I mean? It's a different game. It's like, he's a mover. He's Tyson. Tyson moves and hits. And boxers are very hard to pin down. You know what I mean? Very hard to catch. Where most of AJ's opponents are in front of him. You know what I mean? They're in front of him. My man's a mover to move both ways around the ring. So to me, it's just one of them. I think Tyson's just got that little bit of edge for me.
Well, I definitely see. So, what do you think about Wilder versus AJ? How do you see that fight going?
I don't rate Wilder.
Oh yeah, all right, go on.
No. What it seems to me is like it's manufactured. I watched one of my friends was going on it really like blah blah blah. You want to watch him his knockout? I'm looking at them thinking, nah man, there's something wrong. There's just something wrong. Tyson kicked his ass the first fight, totally outboxed him, and then he just destroyed him in the second. What's the point in the third fight? I don't rate him. He might have a big right hand, but if that's all you've got, you know what I mean? How can you call yourself a boxer? All you've got is a big right hand. You know what I mean? You can't. And then when he loses, makes up all these freaking excuses. Where's that come from? You know what I mean? Why make up excuses? And then there's another one, gloves. And it just tires me. It seems like a little girl.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, yeah. Joe Joyce, we think of Usyk then. Alexander Usyk. What do you think?
Alexander Usyk.
Yeah.
I like him. Yeah, I like him. He's a mover. He's a boxer and he's got a good brain. Did Usyk beat not Daniel.
He beat Joe Joyce.
Joe
Joyce.
In the final.
He beat him in the World Boxing Super Series, yeah.
Yeah, I watched that fight. That was a good fight, man.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. I really like the way he boxed it and controlled it.
Yeah.
Because I thought he controlled it from the first. You know what I mean? He was just moving around, smiling, getting the gauge of his opponent. And I thought he beat him. I thought it was a good fight, man. I like Usyk, yeah.
What do you think would happen in a 12-round fight between the two of them?
Hopefully we'll find out. Hopefully we'll find out.
Yeah. Fair enough.
It's like I'm not going to bet against Joyce again.
Yeah. All right. So what do you think of Eddie Hearn then? Because you tell us about Frank. Your opinions on Frank and that. Frank's still in the game, still trying to battle against Eddie. What's your take on what you think about Eddie Hearn?
Right. Like I said, how people have treated me. And Eddie's been all right with me. You know what I mean? So I can't really say anything about him because I don't really look into all this politics. I just want to see the fights. I want to see the best fucking the best.
Yeah.
But it's like he's taking control of, the signing up a lot of fighters. But the one thing he said I didn't like, when he said that the undercard was mainly up of a mismatch. And that's wrong. You know what I mean? He said it was interviewed. That the undercard were all mismatches. Flipping hell, man. You even know the mismatches, but yet you still come on. For what reason? They don't help the fighter who's winning. You know what I mean? He just put out the record and beat him. Like I said, don't have the people who want to watch boxing or love boxing. And all he does is get kids there.
So, saying that now, so your son's turning pro. Are you gonna start him off hard to see if he's the same thing? You're gonna put him in what 1-on-1, 2-2, 3-3. What? How are you gonna build your son? I'm
not gonna build my son.
Yeah, because Eddie
right. All at the moment, this is what I say. He's loving it. He's enjoying it. He wants to fight. Once he's had his first fight, he'll have an idea. Once he's had his second fight, he'll know what it's about. Yeah, because the first fight, you don't know what you're getting into. The second fight, you know exactly what you're getting into. and then we'll take it from there. But like I said, if the kid's had 2 or 3 fights, I'd put him in with a kid with 2 or 3 fights. Put him in with a kid who's had 5 fights.
I got you. Yeah, but that's how you build him, innit? That's how you build him. You build your fighter solid, you know. And and that's what I have to say about your career. And you can check it, like it ain't no joke, man. Ain't nothing to sneeze at. Ain't no.
It's like if you watch Theo when he's sparring, the first round I've told him, to box on the outside. And then in the second round, in the corner system, I said, no, take center of the ring. You watch roll the ring. You know what I mean? Working on doing different things. There'll be times when he's sparring, I'll just say to him, but I don't want you to hit him, I just want you to move him down the feet. So he's going in with his hand up, keeping the guy. The guy won't know that he's not allowed to throw punches. You know what I mean? So he's working on different things. That's not done anymore. You know what I mean? I don't see that when I'm watching fights. They just seem like wars in gyms. You know, when they're training, they just seem like wars. And I'm thinking, wow, I don't want that. I want you to have a learning in a boxing session. You know what I mean? First time, pick him off on the outside. Move him both ways down the ring. Second round, I want you to take the centre. You control the centre now. You control the fight. Third round, mix it up a bit. You know what I mean? And teaching what they call advanced techniques in basic classes. It's like you throw a jab. How many jabs is there? Or how many variations of the jab is there?
Yeah.
So you learn in 1 jab, learn 2, learn 3, learn a different variation of it, learn to feint it. You know what I mean? And there's all these that needs to be taught as a basic level. You know what I mean? And they're not taught. And like I said, when he's ready to get into a ring, I don't mind putting him in, but it's up to him. You know what I mean? I know his technique that we're teaching and we're working on. At the moment, I don't think there's many people out there in Britain in the cruiserweight division who beat him.
He's a cruiserweight, yeah?
Yeah.
So is it eventually going to be a heavyweight, right? Or
I don't know what he's going to do. Like I said, all I want him to do is enjoy it.
Oh, that's good. You're right. You're right.
All I want him to do is enjoy it. It's like I said, I don't want him to be struggling for weight. You know what I mean? If you're going up there, but if you're in heavyweight, naturally, I want him to eat and train hard and find your natural fighting weight. Don't put weight on because you want to be big. Find your natural fighting weight. If it's around 15.5, 16 stuff, right? And then they're trying to bulk up. Work with that 15.5, 16 stone. Because it gives you different attributes when you're in the ring. You know? You got a little bit more speed, a little bit more agility.
Well, I can tell you this. We've been talking for over 2 hours, nearly 3 hours, and it feels like I've been talking to you for a few minutes. Listen, mate, it's been a ball, man, and people, you know what I mean? People really enjoying it. And let's go back to the Fury thing real quick, yeah? But actually, before I say that, I must say that every level you've fought at, you've won at, whether it's the British, the ABAs, any level they put you in, you've overachieved in the fight and yourself. And like you said, your mentality to me was the best mentality is up. You know what I mean? You want to test yourself against the best. And every loss is not a loss. It's an experience for you to learn and bounce back from rather than take a loss. Because I think Anthony Yard and maybe Dubois, they could have dealt with some of your wisdom in terms of how their mentality is when they've lost and saying, well, you know what? I could do better the next time. You know what I mean? And I think Yard feels that. And Daniel Dubois definitely needs some of that encouragement. I think you know, as a mentor for your son as well and everyone else listening to you, I think that is the most refreshing mindset of going forward into these fights. They're thinking of it. It's have fun, enjoy yourself, and then I want to test myself. I want to test my skills against the best guy, and don't worry about the money and all the trappings after. Just go in there, enjoy yourself. You know, I know the money does play a part in it, but you know, but in the day, you enjoy yourself. You know.
That's what it's all about for me. It's all about the enjoyment. It's all about achieving what you need to achieve.
Yeah.
How good are you? Do you want to know? If you don't want to know, don't take part in it because you get hurt. It's not worth it.
You know, 100%. So let's go back to Tyson Fury and Joshua. Like going into the build-up, Tyson Fury is talking about Travelers' Lives Matter. feel like his people's been hard done by. I think there was an incident in the pub where some of his people wasn't allowed in the pub, and he got they all came out there to protest. There's what it being racist against travellers. Anthony Joshua came out the situation. Black Lives Matter, obviously the George Floyd situation, and the Morris Thingy Arbery as well being shot in America. So Anthony Joshua was reading something and that he got a lot of backlash from that. What's your take on them two and their positions and where they are and who they're representing? What's your take on anything?
You see, to me, racism is acceptable in this country for gypsies. It's all right to be racist against gypsies, and it's wrong. And I believe Tyson has every. Well, it's like look how they treat Tyson. You know what I mean? How the press treated him when he said to him, I can't remember what he said to him, but everybody had a backlash on him. With his Christian view.
Oh, you said when you're talking about all gays or
yeah, something like that.
All gays are pedophiles. Yeah, go on, yeah.
But that's his opinion.
Yeah.
Why the fuck does it matter? Now you have to take somebody's opinion on board. No, the Joshua one is a different thing for me because it was like what he did, I think, was completely set up for him. Instead of, because what was going on, it was basically the police brutality. It's not Black Lives Matter, it's police brutality. That's what we're standing up for. What the police are doing and how they're feeling it. And then somebody's twisted it into black and white. It's not a black and white thing. It's never been a black and white thing. It's always been about police brutality. Yeah? The riots in the 80s, the 90s was about police brutality. Nothing's fucking changed. You know what I mean? Police are getting away with killing people. They have done from time. So it was a spotlight on that. And then it's been saying that we should boycott white businesses. No. Boycott big business. Take care of the local. Take care of your local area and your local community. And that's what he should have said. It's about police brutality. We all need to stick together in this because the police need to do a job, not pick on minorities with, they used to have the sus law back in my day, stop and search for any reason. What reason are you stopping me for? You're looking suspicious. Why? Because my black guy walking around the fucking area. I've been through that in the 80s, getting arrested every other fucking day for what? For being black in my own area. You know what I mean? People don't get what some of us have been through at the hands of the police. There's some good police out there, don't get me wrong. But the bad ones outweigh the good ones because if there's a good copper and he knows there's a bad copper and he knows all about it, he's a bad copper. And I think he just got it mixed up and conscrewed, or somebody's done it for a reason, because it's not black and white, it's police brutality. And that's what it was all about, and that's what it's still about, and that's what it will always be about, because the police is systematic racist, and they have been from fucking time.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. But they don't change it. They don't want to change it. You know what I mean? And I just find it upsetting how, well, no, I don't even find it upsetting. I just find it weird how people have to take somebody's opinion and take offense to somebody's opinion. Who is Anthony Joshua? He's a guy who gets in the ring and hits people. Why is his opinion so important to you? Why has his opinion affected you in this way? What is wrong with you? You know what I mean? I don't get my head around that. I've got an opinion. You don't like my opinion. Fine, I don't have a problem. You know what I mean? You've got an opinion. I don't like your opinion. Fine. You know what I mean? That's it. I'm not going to... That's nonsense. It's bollocks. You know, people need to be offended. They have to have something to take offence at. You know what I mean? Oh, that's offending me. Oh, get over yourself. You know what I mean? People are too, that's the problem I find with people. They're too busy looking at other people's lives and what they're saying, how they're talking, instead of looking at their own and taking care of their own business. Because the only people who bother about other people is miserable people. Because happy people don't give a shit about other people because they're too happy. They don't care, do
they? Yeah.
Well, that's my thought.
No, that's that's you know that's your opinion as well. Hey, listen, man. Hey, listen, I was gonna say to you, we have to be real out here, man. Black people get stopped regularly. You got a car, they're stopping you. Stopped regularly by the police all the time. You're a senior citizen now. So you still have the police still stop you occasionally every now and again, or not as much as they used to? Because I think they
don't trouble me.
No trouble, Okay, that's good.
No, because the thing is I'm not interested in what they've got to say.
That's it.
No, what reason do they have to stop me? Have you seen me doing anything? No, so why do you want to stop me? I don't want to talk to you.
That's it.
You know what I mean? You've got no reason to stop me and speak to me. I got stopped in London by two coppers, and the first thing they said to me was, the reason why I'm stopping you is because there's been a meeting. We don't know who it is. We haven't had no description. All we've heard is he was coming this way. Yeah. Can I ask you a few questions? I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, of course you can. And then he came through on the radio. He said, I'm sorry for that. We've got the description. We know it's not you. If you want to make a report, I said, no, mate, you're doing your job. I don't have a problem with that. Then I got another cop to stop me. What's your name? Why are you stopping me? What's your name? Why are you stopping me? You've got a chip on your shoulder. I just went, why are you stopping me? I'd have to give you my name. What are you stopping me for? No reason. Two people doing the same job. One told me exactly why he's stopping me. I don't have a problem with that. I tell you, if you do for me. When you stop me and you got an attitude like I've done something wrong, when I've done nothing, I've got no problem with that. Yeah. And just because you wear a uniform, don't mean you're a good man. Remember that. Just because the police officers in a uniform don't mean you're a good person. Why do they have locks on their lockers in the police stations? Think about that one.
No, you're right about that. You're right about that. All right, so what's your opinion on Dillian White?
I don't know him.
As a boxer.
I don't know him.
Okay, have you seen his fights?
No.
What do you think of his fight? What do you think in the Povetkin fight?
The uppercut.
Yeah, like in terms of he was winning the fight, he dropped him down a couple of times, and then he come out and get clipped. You haven't got an opinion on the fight, and what do you think would happen in the rematch?
I watched the fight. My man's old.
Yeah, Povetkin's old, yeah.
But that punch, that is old school. We learned that as an amateur. No jab, slip, counter.
Yeah.
You jab, you slip the counter, and you come up with the uppercut. Very hard punch to defend against. You don't see it. You know what I mean? And that was just a technique that he'd been practicing years and years and years ago. And he played that beautifully. And I just think he was just unlucky that he took the punch. You know what I mean? He can come back from it, mate.
They're fighting him, they're fighting on March the 6th. What do you think what do you think Dillian need to do to win that fight?
Not get careless. You know what I mean? He was doing all right, he just got careless. You've got to remember, he knows the guy can bang now. So just have got to be careless. He's got to stay focused for the full fight.
Yeah, he definitely needs to, boy. Definitely needs to. Yeah. But listen, it's wrapping up to 3 hours, and I feel like we've only been talking for at least about 20 minutes, man. But hey,
you can always do a part two another time.
Hey, listen, man. But more than a part two, man. I'll tell you, what I'd love, is someone I think some of your guys in the comment section, they're talking about they got some of your fights. If they could upload some of the Johnny Nelson, the Carl Thomas, the Andrews fight, some of the fights that I haven't seen in the. I try to type your name. Also, I want to watch some of them fights in the early days as well. So put some of the fights up as well. And yeah, man, it's been a pleasure, man. I mean,
if you know anybody who knows how to convert videos, I've got the first fight on there against Steve Watt. I've got the Glass Campbell there all on video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got quite. I think I've got Johnny Nelson actually.
I know how to convert him, because I got a video.
Yeah.
What you did? You see the old DVD, right?
Yeah.
And the video VHS. So what I did, you got the white. I put both of them together. So you put the video chest in, put the VHS in, and then what you do, you put the disc of the DVD, and then you put them onto the disc. And when you put them on the disc, then you can pull it into the computer, and then and that's that's what people do. And you upload them in parts. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's how you do that. Yeah, if you've got one, I don't know if you've got a DVD and a video chip, but that's yeah.
But then, you know what I mean? It's like
techie.
When I left, I didn't have anything.
Yeah.
You know, when I went traveling, I just had me a bag.
Yeah.
And that was it. Just a carry-on bag. I lost everything.
Wow. But you know what? You know what someone told me? This is someone told me, right? I had loads of junk in my house, right? And I had one of them things that I think what you call it, where the water overflows in your house and it's coming through the roof from the attic into the roof, and it was all water coming through to my house, right? So they, the guy came in, he fixed it, whatever. And I goes, I had all this stuff and I had to move in it because of the water, whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes, and I goes, this, the other, I was complaining. He goes, just throw it away. What do you mean throw it away? He goes, just throw it away. You're not even gonna remember it anyway. I said, what do you mean? Because I'm telling you, like, you got all this junk in here, all this stuff you're stored up over years. You just throw it away and just don't think about it, right? So I thought about it and I threw it all away. And I don't think about none of that stuff, it's just there, innit? So I can understand that you lost all that stuff, but you don't think about it, you just lost it. It's just gone in it. You just move on in it.
Just give it up. No need for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No longer has any need.
No need. But I tell you what I don't think I'll talk about is your exercising in terms of, we're all going through this lockdown right now, and your videos on exercising, which is very good as well, because obviously you was talking about your body got all stiff and hard, and you started doing little exercises, little things, stretching. Yeah, that's very, listen, that one there is beautiful, because some people going through certain things right now, and they're thinking they need to do this, they need to do that, but just stretching your body and going for a walk. Talk about how did you come to the mindset of just building your body back up and making your body feel healthy again?
Well, no, because it was like after my last operation, I was told this was like an experiment. I cut both ends of the bone off, and then they took some bone out of the hip, and then packed the gap up. And they said it'll take 2 years for it to heal. You can't do any work with it or any exercise with it for them. So I listened to them, did what they told me. And then I wanted to get back in the training and just start. Because now I hear voices. Yeah? And one of the voices says to me, you've got 80 years left on this planet. This was about 5 years ago. And I just cracked out laughing. And I just changed. And then it's just like, I want to be fit. I want to be fit today. Well, I can't be fit today, but one day I will be fit. I'll just do a bit. And I just start a little bit, working in my wrists, getting my hands and my grip going and my wrist and fingers moving. And then I just tried to touch my toes. And I just cracked out laughing because I couldn't touch them. But now, no problem. I'm doing squat. And to me, that's all you need to do. Get your blood flowing. Squat, touch your toes, bend down, and then you see where you go from there. Squat right down with your feet, foot on the floor. Because that also strengthens your stomach and your core muscles. In your toes and that. But I will learn to do handstands. Just try one against the wall. Yeah? Just try and handstand against the wall. If it was anything like me, man, I would absolutely knackered. That's it. I got up there and I was up there for about 10 seconds, came down and I was thinking, how come I'm so tired? And I've only just done an handstand against the wall. It completely blew my mind. And then we started to train and practice handstands. And that's when I learned that once you strengthen your grip up, your wrist, your body overall strength improves. I don't do a lot. Yeah. I'll do about 3 sit-ups, 3 press-ups or something. You know what I mean? I'm interested in just enjoying it. You know what I mean? I don't want to do it. I don't stretch till it's painful. Yeah. I stretch till there's a nice stretch on it. You know what I mean? Where you can just feel it. Yeah.
No, it's really, man. I'm telling you, man. I liked it, man. I like the videos. I really enjoyed the videos. I enjoyed the draws, and I like your breakdowns on the current fights. The Lomachenko went against to Teofimo Lopez recently, and some of the. I enjoy some of your analysis on some of the fights and stuff like that, and also you talking about people want to know boxing. Contact Crawford Ashley, either through Facebook. I think they can contact you through there. How else can they contact you through?
I think I'm on Instagram. I think that's the Chilling 9 on Instagram. I'm not sure. I've got so many different names.
Okay.
No, it's. So I've always had a few different names. Different personalities, different sides to me. So I multi-personality disorder. Why do I call it disorder? Because I like them.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as they can find you, the main thing, if they want knowledge. Hopefully, this COVID thing kind of abates. So, do you go to the gym, or you just do most of the stuff in your house, though? Because you got
because the gym's shut. If I had my own gym, it'd be open.
Are you looking to do that, like buy your own gym or something like that? That's a good idea, isn't it? Eventually.
I want a little one. I don't want a big one.
Yeah, a little one, nice and thing. Yeah.
Or get involved, which I'm already involved with the Bethlehem. The more like community gyms.
What's the Bethlehem? Is that amateur boxing club?
Yeah, Bethlehem boxing gym that's in Leeds and that's 9.
Yeah.
And what I like is like I say, it's a community centre. You know what I mean? There's all different types of people in there. And during this lockdown, I mean, people need them. You need the gyms open. You need to punch a bag. You need to have social interaction and that.
Yeah.
But this is all fucking bollocks, to be truthful with you.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, they want us to take the vaccine and all that stuff.
No, it's been bollocks from time.
Yeah.
Right. From when it first started, 2-week lockdown didn't work. 4-week lockdown didn't work. 6-month lockdown didn't work. You need didn't work. You need to get a vaccine. If I get a vaccine, do I still wear a mask? Yeah. Why do I need a vaccine?
Yeah, exactly.
If I get a vaccine, do I still need to isolate? Yeah. So why do I need a vaccine?
Yes, exactly. That don't make no sense.
None of it makes any sense. None of it's ever made any sense.
Yeah.
So for me, what we need to do is like people. I like Boris Johnson. And you go, why? I say because he's a fucking clown. And when clowns are in charge of the circus, they'll go to the fucking circus. You know what I mean? We're all still at the circus watching what the clowns are doing. Now, it's up to you. Do you want to do what you know is right? Or do you want to follow the clowns? Because to me, do what you feel is right. You know what I mean? Or you'll get fines, you'll get this. How can they fine you? This country is ruled by consent. Do not consent to it. Do not give it. Do not go to it. You know what I mean? Why? Why am I being penalized because I don't want to wear a mask? Why am I being... Or because you're serving people's lives? Fuck off. Everybody's going to die. Everybody's going to die on this planet. Right now, is going to die. You know what I mean? I'm watching somebody says, we're all going to get the COVID. Everybody's going to get it. Yeah? All they're doing is trying to slow it down so it doesn't block up the NHS. Fund the NHS. Give the NHS more money. They're being cutting the services to the NHS and now it's not fit for purpose. And then they're blaming the people for it. The government should basically fund the NHS, put people back out there and let it get back because we're all going to get it. You know what I mean? Some of them have had it, they don't even know. It's like Frank Warren came out of hospital the other day. recovering from it.
Yeah.
So it's not a killer. You know what I mean?
Not a killer. That's right. It's not a killer.
So why am I worried about it? Even if it was a killer, I wouldn't be worried about it.
I tell you
I'm
what.
more worried about staying in the house.
Yeah, that's a killer. That's a killer. That is. Listen, it's come like Groundhog Day. I see this. I don't know when it's day. I don't know what day it is, night. But it's bad. It's bad.
So when are we going to stand up and do what we want to do instead of what they're telling us to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when's the end?
Well,
you know what I mean? When's the end? What's going to happen? What's the future?
When I saw them overthrow the White House over there, I was looking at that. I was thinking they weren't wearing no mask in that thing, but they were. Some of them were, or whatever. But they overthrow the White House. I was like, maybe that's gonna happen in London. Maybe Guy Fawkes has been reincarnated in 2021, mate. Guy Fawkes, he coming in to do Houses of Parliament, man.
But I just can't understand why people can't see what the fuck's going on. Yeah. Honest, to me, it's a sad state of affairs, and it has been from the very beginning, because nobody knows what they're doing.
No, they have no idea.
No, nobody knows what they're doing. And it's like they've got guidelines, and it's like you've got to wear a mask. Why do I have to wear a mask? Or to say people that how the fuck is going to save somebody's life because it's not airborne?
Exactly.
Hey, it's not airborne.
Yeah.
So do your research. For me, what's the biggest thing for me, and what's pissed me off more than anything else that nobody's even said anything about? This virus is man-made.
Mm-hmm.
Who made the virus? For what reason was it made, and who funded it? Why are they not being arrested for crimes against humanity? Because the virus has got no other job other than to infect people. And somebody's funded that research. For what reason? You know what I mean? Who funded it, and why are they answering questions?
It's madness, man. It's madness.
Because that's crimes against humanity.
Yeah, you're 100% it is. 100% it is. And you know that thing as well, when the pandemic started, I remember they had people outside clapping at 8 o'clock every evening.
NHS, yeah.
I said, listen, why am I clapping? I wasn't trying to disrespect them. I said, why am I clapping? I said, why are you just giving them some money? Just give them more money to help them out. And they haven't done that.
Yeah. No, they've cut the wages. They've cut it.
Yeah.
They say staying to save lives. No, you freaking stop fucking funding wars and funding NHS.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because there's not enough money, but all national insurance is supposed to go to NHS.
Yes.
That's what you pay for. It's national insurance. It's a paid service.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Please.
It's not a private service, but it is because we pay for it through our taxes, through the national insurance. And it's not fit for purpose because they've defunded it that much and pocketed the money that now when there's a crisis on, you know what I mean? I can't even see the crisis. Because if the pandemic was real, you wouldn't have to be told about it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to be told about it.
Well, the Black Plague was real, mate. I know about the Black Plague, mate, with the rats, mate. Where your skin was going in lumps. I mean, that to me is a serious thing. You can see physically in people's faces. So then you got people that are trying to make out like first off, they said the Chinese people at it. So everyone was scared of people from Asia, right? It's always people of color. Then the Corona thing, Mexico's favorite drink is Corona. They drink, they because of no one buys that now because obviously associated. Yeah, it's true stuff. Right?
That's how stupid we are, man. We deserve this shit. Serious.
Yeah, and then they said it's coming out of Africa now, apparently, and black people got it more than everyone else. So then people start thinking, oh, it's the people of colors, they've all got it. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa. You know what I mean? I'm like, whoa, it caused people to think a certain way. Like, they're looking at you, they can see you normal, but they just, oh, he's not wearing a mask. There's something wrong with him, he's not wearing a mask. You know, back in the days when people wear masks, right? When you went into a bank, they knew you was coming to rob the bank. You could wear a mask now and go to the bank. So I was thinking to myself, this is what I was thinking. So people normally are looking at masks and getting used to normal. So the same way they can get normal to mask, that means they could probably stop racism. If they really want to stop racism, they could do that. Because look how comfortable people got with masks. If they really had laws and say racism should stop now, if you do racism, you're gonna be fined £1,000 or whatever it is, whatever. The racism could be stopped. Racism could stop overnight.
I don't agree with that because racism is just ignorance.
No, but what I'm saying is,
you can't ignorance, man.
No, but they're comfortable with masks. People wasn't comfortable. If people wear masks back in the day, they were scared if you went into a bank. But now everyone's comfortable. What I'm saying is,
I wish more and more people would wear the mask, go to the bank and rob the fucking bank.
Leave it as that. Leave it.
No, I'm serious because it's like you got to wear a mask. Why you don't do anything? All he's doing is taking your voice away. That's all they do. Yeah. That's all they're doing is taking. It's a symbolic gesture to take your voice away from you.
Oh yeah.
And this is what people don't get because you need a face covering. Why? You know what I mean? Have you seen the different types of masks you need? If you're spraying a car, the mask that they've got on, they've got all these different kind of face masks, but you have to wear one. That's just a piece of paper, or even a pair of knickers round your mouth. As long as you've got some of your mouth and your nose. For what reason? To take your voice away from you. Subconsciously, you know what I mean? It's divide and conquer, and that's what they're trying to do.
So where do you think we're going with this, Mr. Crawford? Where do you think we're going?
Me personally, I think the government's trying to get the people to revolt.
For what reason?
See how far they can push us, and then others on what do you call that thing again? Martial law.
It feels like that now, isn't it?
And I think the only way it's going to stop is if the police say no. You know what I mean? I think there's too much going on. There's too many politicians that are in billionaires' back pockets. And when they got rid of Corbyn, that was it, man. They put that stammer in. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I mean,
all down to being anti-Semitic. A man who's fought against racism all his life.
Corbyn, Jerry Corbyn, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They call him racist. You know, it's like, why? Because they don't want him there. Because the Labour Party and the Conservative are exactly the fucking same. They're controlled by the same people. Yeah. What we need is a third party, the People's Party. All these people, all these politicians need to be brought to account. Look at how much money they wasted on this track and trace, on this vaccine, on this. I've been in work. If you can't do the job, you don't get paid. So shouldn't they pay the money back?
Yeah, that's true.
So once they pay the money back, that money can go to the NHS.
Yeah, that's where the money should be going in the first place.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So they've got all this shit that they're giving to their friends, to their family, the business. You know what I mean? Sell PPE. We've got all these masks and all this stuff. We'll buy them from them. Wait a minute. You know what's happening? They're robbing the people. And the people are falling for it. And we can't. What can you do? You know what I mean? The police need to stand up. They need to come out and say, right, they need arrested. And it's for me, it's either. Remember when the expenses came up? Everybody was claiming expenses. All these politicians. About a year or two before that, they brought in this thing, proceeds of crime. So if you get nicked for something, they can take all your assets off you because they say it's come from crime. So they're the Proceeds of Crime Act.
Oh, is it? I didn't know about that.
Yeah. All these politicians who were fiddling their expenses, they were robbing from the people. Everything they've got is through the proceeds of crime. So every one of them who got done for fiddling the taxes, the MP's expenses should be arrested and charged, and everything they should get should be lost from proceeds of crime. How many MPs go into government and end up becoming millionaires? Wow. On their wages. Yeah. You know what I mean? How? Because they're taking back handles to do things, to get things done. It's been going on from time, and it's just like now it's becoming more and more to light, and people are seeing it. It's like, look at that fire. Look at the fire in Renfrew. Who do the politicians blame? The fire people, the firemen. They didn't blame the landlords. They didn't blame the people who put the cladding on. Nobody's been arrested. Nobody's been found for them people there. Why? Because somebody's in somebody's pocket. Somebody's paying something. Some of them MPs had flats in there that were renting out. So it stinks to high heaven. You know what I mean? The government are supposed to work for the people. At the moment, they're not.
No, they're not.
You know what I mean? They're working for themselves.
Yeah. What do you think about the Trump then? What do you think of him? Because he was a bloody. I mean, his era's finished now. I mean, he was.
I liked him.
You like Trump, yeah?
Yeah. And people say, why? I said, because he doesn't pretend he's anything other than what he is.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's clear.
You know what I mean? And like again, we all can see who he is, so why do we take any notice of him? You know what I mean? Why are we taking his opinion as fact? It's like Boris Johnson, he's a clown, so why are we listening to what he says? Does that make us bigger clowns?
Yeah.
So that's how you got to look at it. The man's a clown, so I'm going to listen to him and do what he tells me. No. You know what I mean? They've took free will away from people. You know, we need to get it back.
Yeah, hopefully this pandemic, man. I mean, you know, I had enough of these tears and changing the things, and it's really affecting a lot of people's livelihood, mental health. But 100%, man, I came across your video and it was very inspiring of dealing with things. I like the way you're, you know, nice and relaxed. You have your drinking your tea and this relaxing, this, you know, words of wisdom. What's that?
The tea keeps me hands warm.
Yeah, man, it's beautiful. No, it's really good, man. You know, the thing is, yeah, you know, as people get older, they have their knowledge and wisdom, and you're like a sage, you're sitting, because there's a whole generation who listen, and there's not many people I can actually listen to and think, boy, it's just like I didn't think of things like that, and make you think about things that are in their situation, and also health as well. Like you got little exercise, do your health, telling people what to eat. Then you're giving your opinion on boxing, a real, you know, real showing your different dimensions of who you are as a person, like. You know what I mean? Different sides of you. And I really enjoy your videos. And I recommend everyone, like I said, everyone listening, make sure you go over and subscribe to Crawford Ashley, the Spiritual Boxers YouTube channel. And yeah, man, I already take it as a part 1, part 2. It's more this case of like, let me see what you're doing and stuff will come. Because there's always going to be something come. That's the thing about the world of boxing or the world in general. Every two minutes, something come up. Like Frank Warren will put something up. This will come, that will up and that. And your opinion is always welcomed in the world of boxing. So you're definitely welcome. You're definitely a welcome addition to the YouTube boxing community. Crawford Ashley, the spiritual boxer people. Make sure. Any other words you want to say to anyone of how they can find you? Anything? You already mentioned Facebook, Instagram.
No, just basically my YouTube channel. That's it. Crawford Ashley, spiritual boxer. And comment, because I'm not. It's like I've had 2 trolls of them, and I don't mind them. You know what I mean? Because if one of them actually turned out to be a fan, he was telling me I was doing something wrong. Yeah. Well, you know, we can't hear the sound, blah, blah, blah. But when you're just starting off and you're starting off with nothing, it's very difficult.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then it's like, as I'm moving on, I'm listening to what he says, well, sometimes do the video and then do the talking over it. And then do some text. And I put it in because I want to learn. So to me, I don't call them trolls. I mean, if they're coming out with some good constructive comments, I'm going to take them on board and I'll use them. If they're not, I'll just ignore them.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they are. I mean, you know, I don't. You haven't used the StreamYard yet, which I'm using now, where it's more interactive. Yeah. But as you use more equipment, these are not numbers. These are actually people. As long as they behave themselves and they talk what I feel is appropriate and they come over respectful, I listen to what they're saying 100%. You know, I don't really, you know, I think, like you said, I think your mantra then is having fun, enjoying what you're doing, and 100% this interviews like that. I mean, we're 3 hours plus over, and I'm sure everyone else who stayed through the whole duration, they got something out of it, and that's what I like to put out there. Content for me, even years later, I can sit back and watch. Oh man, that was really good. That was a good listen. I got something out of that. That was food for thought. You know, and I'll tell you what, mate, you know, because I've been getting little clips of your videos. I'm like, this is like a good treat. I got a good 3 hours of every hour of you laying it down, laying the smack down on it. Yeah, any other words you want to say to the people listening? And anything coming up or anything you want to share before you depart?
Yeah, I'd just like to say I hope you enjoyed it and thank you for listening to me. I know I'm a bit of an idiot, but they're just my opinions. And you know what I mean? They shouldn't, if they've upset somebody, fine. You know what I mean? Look at the reason why. Or anybody in general. I'd say the best thing to do is take a good, honest look at yourself. And if you don't like yourself, change. Change to somebody you do like.
Yeah. Simple as that, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's that simple.
appreciate you coming over, Crawford Ashley, the spiritual boxer. Hey, man, I'm gonna play out some music. I've shared it onto your Facebook. So obviously,
thank you.
So it's on your Facebook, and I'll share it around. Hey, man, appreciate you coming over, and you, enjoy your evening, and we'll talk very soon. You take care.
We'll definitely talk again. Yeah, Ro, definitely. I've enjoyed it myself.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. All right, man. You take care, chap.
You too. All right, then. Catch you later, man.
See you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Brace yourself and come in cover. Anytime you step in the place on ya, people are rock and come in no cars. Original chronics to say, I grew up in a place called La Vega. Spanish Town rocking over prison over. Yeah. Well, I grew up in a place called Unsung City. Just me, Spanish Town groovy. Yeah, you say everybody nice. Chihuahua la la la, El Jaman. Spanish Town, me born, that's where me come from.
Ashley used to be the British light heavyweight champion, born in Leeds. He says he fights for pleasure and self-satisfaction, not for the money. Michael Nunn was accepted as the best middleweight in the world in the late 80s. Now he's moved up to the 12-stone class.
Championship fight. Tony's a great fighter anyway. Not too much of a reception for Ashley, but I mean, he would have...
Yeah, it didn't really please me, Reg. I don't like to see a former light heavyweight coming in almost as a middleweight. I don't know if nerves has got something to do with that. Maybe he's burned up a little bit. I don't like his weight. I'd like to see him closer to the 12 stone. But I always had a lot of respect for Ashley as a fighter. But this is an immense step up in class.
None, by the way, just half a pound inside the 12-stone limit. He had a very easy win last time up, and I suppose he's looking for another first rounder here, Michael Nunn. But that was a disgraceful mismatch. Dan Moore.